Alright, so I am now on stream. I always feel weird whenever I'm doing this because it's like it's been fucking forever since I do streams. I am so very not doing my stream. I don't do streams very often, but I do when I need to. And this one is a good celebration stream. So, I mean, we're all celebrating the fact that I just got done my contract, so I have tons and tons of free time now. And that's why I am streaming, because why not? I have free time, and I might as well spend it doing what I love, which is, in fact, doing modern magic. Alright, I'm still kind of learning how to do all this junk here. Let's see here. Alright, one person watching. I'm going to still give it a couple minutes until a couple more people show up. And before I start drinking. I don't know if drinking at exactly 6:30 is the best option. Like I said, I'm celebrating. And the best way I know how to celebrate is with Zoo. So, there's that. To anyone who's currently watching right now, there is a poll. If you look at my eyeball somewhere around that area-ish, there's like an eye. You can click it and tell me what you guys want me to first start playing. I am going to be going over a couple things. I'm going to be doing aquarium, which is what I prefer to call a zoo. I don't like calling it blue zoo or counter cat. I don't like those names. But this one's going to be like focusing very much on retreat to Coral Helm, into Geist of Saint Traft, or Night of the Reliquary combo. I found Oath of Nissa to be like stupidly good there. I also need to buy a. I also gotta buy a an Arlen. I forgot to do that, so I gotta do that real quick. Then let's see. This one, which is gonna be like my Planeswalker zoo. It's gonna have it's like your normal big zoo. I took out the Oath of Nissas. I didn't want them. Instead, I'm just gonna have high end of just like Planeswalkers. Who knows? Maybe I'll find room for Oath of Nissa again. But someone was telling me Domri was doing pretty good lately on the MTG Salvation forums. I figured, fuck it, I'll try it out. Go all in on the Domri plan, see how I like it. If I don't like it, there's always other options. But I wanted to be a little bit different between all of them. The Gruul Zoo, this one does not have any really new cards. It's just sort of a combination of what I've been seeing winning lately. Gruul Zoo's been doing really well lately, and that has a lot to do with, I think, the fact that it's like kind of rotation, so aggro is just pretty good right now of a choice. I haven't been super impressed with it, to be honest, while I was testing, but who knows? Maybe today will show me differently. I've got a sort of Domain Zoo. Domain Zoo hasn't done very well recently at all, probably because it is not super great against aggro. But it's a thing, so it's here. This is my version of it. It's sort of my pet project. Sometimes I just work on it. And I think currently this is the best build you can do for like Domain Tribal Zoo. And one of the other things that I've got showing is this guy. That's right. This is a budget list. It costs less than $100 online to play. And what's funny is I haven't lost with it yet for the couple times that I did play it. So it's super cheap. I suppose you could skimp on the mana base and make it even cheaper. Pretty much everything that is not mana costs like $1 max for the playset. So it's a thing that exists. Like I was saying though, guys, you can in fact vote on a poll. I gotta figure out how I can see that poll myself. But you can in fact vote on a poll on the side, and it will say what we're gonna do first. It's got those 4 or 5 options. So feel free. I'm still gonna wait a little bit longer, probably about 5 more minutes, just to see if more people will show up. Hey man. Yeah, talk in the chat too. I definitely don't mind talking to my friends on from MTG Salvation or wherever. Like I said, I'm gonna give it a little bit more time to for people to show up. I've got 6 people watching right now. I'll let it grow a little bit more. And in the meantime, I'll play something so that it's not like super boring. I'll play like one of my older videos. And to people who are new and don't realize that I also do zoo, because they're coming over from my Switch that I've been doing mostly lore videos, I do play a lot of Modern, I do play a lot of zoo, and zoo is my main archetype that I've been playing for years in Magic. So guys, if you want, enjoy some Modern Magic. In the meantime, let's go ahead and play some videos.
Welcome to Lantern's Insight, where we take Magic the Gathering's long lore, break it down, and dramatically retell it back to you. All characters and art are owned by Magic the Gathering, Wizards of the Coast, and Hasbro. If you want to learn more about Magic the Gathering, the game, please visit the links down below. A werewolf who can change her form at will? Now this makes for one dangerous predator. Who is Arlen Cord? We don't know much about this strong-willed woman, but we do know enough about Innistrad's history and her backstory to connect the dots, like a mind mage detective in a leather coat. What we do know about Arlen's early history is that she had her first werewolf transformation as a teenager by the Mondrunen wolf pack. Now there's something special about the werewolf curse you'll need to know, and using this we can pretty much figure out exactly what happened to her. Unknown to most people, becoming a werewolf has nothing to do with bites or scratches from other wolves or werewolves. It actually is a ritual that infuses you with Innistrad's wild mana and splits your soul into 2 joint ones. The normal human that you were and a wilder, beastly version of yourself. Arlen wasn't a werewolf when she was first drawn to the call, but it does mean that for whatever reason, she allowed herself to be opened up to the spirits of the woods. This is exactly what happened to Arlen. And when she was surrounded by the Mondrunen Hal Pact, she was attacked by wild magic. Inside herself, a battle raged. Her beast form attacked her human form, and either her human form was too weak and lost, or more likely, her human form liked this new self, even for just a split second, and suddenly, the change was complete. Arlen was now a silver-tipped werewolf. Now, it's unlikely she killed a human during her first hunt, since Arlen still, to this day, detests killing humans, so she most likely hunted animals with her new family. And the next morning, she woke up naked, covered in dirt and blood, and she ran home ashamed of herself. And in all likelihood, mostly ashamed of the fact that she enjoyed this newfound freedom. So she turned into what's called a repentant on Innistrad. That's someone who usually in secret uses prayer and Abyssinian magic to keep the transformations at bay. This is possible because the werewolf inside Arlen is a curse, but it's impossible to cure this since the beast fighting for control isn't like a Geist possession, it's another part of her. But she was able to stave off this transformation for years, even going so far as to train in the Slayer's stronghold, becoming an archmage of Golden Light under Gisella's angelic gaze. But one day her wards failed, and Arlen flipped back into her werewolf form, killing many people. Since Arlen's human form is basically just a passenger to the wolves' control, the shock of watching her co-workers and friends die by her own hands and claws shocked the woman into igniting her spark, and she disappeared as suddenly as she transformed, gone to terrorize another unknown plane. But the ignition of her spark did more than just send her somewhere else, it made her completely different than her wolven brethren. It fused her split soul back together. She woke up a werewolf, a feral beast vastly different than the soon-to-exist Wolfir, but inside that savage beast was her own mind, whole and calm, but slightly fused her split soul back together. She woke up she loved it. When she came back to Innistrad, she finally shifted back into her human form. And eventually the transformation became easier until she could do it without any effort. Most werewolves undergo a painful transformation where their bones bend and break and their organs rapidly grow. Arlen doesn't do this. She just sort of shifts into her wolf form and then shifts back out. No pain, no bending, no breaking. Like both sides of her flesh are natural and always meant to be there, but she just takes on the form that she desires the most at the time. Many years went by, and the curse mute would happen when Avacyn returned, which changed most of the werewolves into servants of Avacyn called Wolfir.
Okay, that seems long enough. So I checked the poll, and people want to see mostly the big zoo. So I will go ahead and do that. And by big, I don't mean that one. I mean this one. So let me quickly go and buy a Arlen. Let's see what she's currently going for. I didn't want to grab her yesterday at $8, but she was down to $7 a little earlier. So let's see here. I hope the stream is okay. If you guys notice like the stream is shuddering or anything, let me know. I don't want to like be terrible. I don't want to be a terrible streamer. 8 tickets, okay. Might as well bite the bullet and get both of them. Alright, go into this. Okay, let's go ahead and play some random matches then, now that we can. So this one is just sort of mostly to just test out whether or not Domri is good, whether or not being Planeswalker heavy is kind of a good idea. I suppose I could fit Oath of Nissa in there. It's just really tough to fit like a random utility spell in there. Oath of Nissa I haven't been like super impressed by either. It's been like pretty marginal, but I mean it's good. It's good in certain things, like the aquarium one. It was great. I love it there. So we'll have to see more about it. Boo boo boo. Okay, so we lost the die roll because we rolled a 1 because we're awesome like that. Anyways. Alright, so 1-lander. It does have a mana dork, and we are going second, so it's possible we could just keep this. In like a serious match, I probably wouldn't, but I think I'll be fine. Great. Love to play against Tron first round. That's my favorite. Alright, so we're going to be fine here with this. Tron is kind of a tricky beast. You're either all in or you're not all in. So the real question is whether or not you want to go with Noble Hierarch first and foremost. Yeah, I think Hierarch is probably going to be our best bet. Although I could definitely see reasonings for going... Actually, I think Nicodle's better. That way we can at least attack for 4. We're just going to try to do an all-in race. This way we can attack for 4, we can put down Noble Hierarch, we can bolt him also. Great. He's got like the god hand of where he basically has natural Tron. Fantastic. Love it. I'll get over myself. Well, we've dedicated ourselves to this race plan, so we're just going to go ahead and race. Alright. keep forgetting I have to talk more often than I do. So yeah, we're just gonna race here. If he goes into like next turn just Ugins us, we're just dead. You know, there's no fighting back from that one. So we'll see. Maybe he grabs like a white land instead. No, he's just going for the natural Tron. He's just trying to just outdo us. Well, look at that. That's a talisman and is not a natural Tron. Expedition map. Okay, that's a little weird. I suppose you could do that. But that means you have 3-4 mana, I guess. Maybe instant speed Kozilek's return? I don't know why you would do instant speed Kozilek's return. I'm trying to think here. Alright, so we've got 3 mana and we're trying to do as much damage as we can. These Tarmogoyfs sound like great ideas. We could do 5 damage with our Nacatl and still leave us a Tarmogoyf. It's not like we're getting very much damage off of this Knight of the Reliquary, and we're not getting any sort of like toolboxing that we need to do with her. I probably should have shown off the deck. Although you can just take a picture, you can just take a look at MTG Salvation at any point in time, and then you can see what like I'm currently running. This is basically I just took the Oath of Nisses out from whatever deck list I posted, and added in a bunch of Tomries instead. I think I probably put in one more Qasali Pride Mage. Whoa! A bolt, huh? That's crazy. I wasn't expecting that one. That's fine. I guess he's trying to play... He's got to play a longer game then, right? Well, we'll just put out this Tarmogoyf. It's best option here. Urza's Factory. Now that's one I haven't seen in Modern, like, ever. For 7 mana, you can put a 2/2 Assembly Worker into play. Okay. Well, he's got 7 mana, so he can definitely put a 2/2 Assembly Worker into play. And when he does, I probably bolt it. Because I'd rather get in 6 damage here than 0 damage. And then I cast Knight for the Wolf Run. And if you guys don't know what I'm doing here, it's basically by bolting it, I'm trading up damage. So instead of just getting blocked here, I get 6 damage in. It's a short turn game. And I totally passed the turn, unlike what I was supposed to do. My bad. I mean, I'm guessing an Eldrazi's just about to come down and screw me. Or an Ugin. An Ugin comes down and blows me up as well. Sure. That sucks. God, I hate Ugin so much. Ugin just gonna, like, destroy this game. I'm pretty sure I don't win at this point, by the way, guys. I'm pretty sure this is just completely over. If anything relevant comes down whatsoever, aside from an Ugin, I've lost this game. I mean, that's a lot of mana. I'd assume, like, it's over, right? Tooth and Nail? Okay, what are you getting with that Tooth and Nail, just so I know for next game? Probably something with haste and, an Emrakul? Cool. I don't need to waste any more time. I don't need to waste any more time. Alright, so let's see what we come out here with. We bring in the Blood Moons, bring in the Stony Silences, bring in the Valor Stand, bring in the Gadok Tag, probably the Thalias as well. Something I like to do whenever I'm just deciding on sideboard material is I just sort of bring in everything and then just look at realistically what I need to cut, including sideboard stuff. My you know, this stuff's good, but it's like, I can't count on it. Domri's probably terrible in this matchup. So there you go. See you later, Planeswalkers. Ooze is just relentlessly bad in this. And Tarmogoyf actually is pretty bad too. But I think I'd cut the bolts before I cut the Tarmogoyfs. Yeah, I mean, Ooze can like maybe be a 3/3 in this matchup, but I'd rather have the bolt, I think, at that point. Alright, I don't mind starting out with this hand, actually. Putting a Stony Silence out there really is going to dampen things up for him, no matter what, I'd assume. It stops O-Stones, it stops, let's see here. Yeah, we'll go with that. It stops O-Stones, it stops maps, it stops, I saw that he had some, like, relics. So I don't see why that would be a bad choice. Plus, I can at least attack for 1. I think we'd rather put up the Stirring Wildwood and just go ahead and Stony Silence right now. It's sort of a waste of time, which I hate doing, but I'd rather have the Stirring Wildwood out there. Sure, that Talisman does nothing right now, so that's perfectly fine. And yeah, the reason why I was doing it like that is because then at worst, I can just crack this for a basic and attack for 4. Get wrecked! 4 damage from a land! Make my own Raging Ravine. Make my own Raging Ravine! Alright, so yeah, this Stony Silence, I'm assuming there's like a map just rotting in his hand right now. Our map is actually doing quite a bit to help us. I don't really care how much damage I take myself off my own lands at this point. As long as we do more damage to the opponent, it's fine by me. The idea here is now if we draw a... It was so funny. The idea here is if we draw anything, basically, we can probably win. Who is playing with a Phyrexian Core? I don't... Okay. Some people must have really taken that eye to Ugin Band like to heart, going like, well, I just better run anything and everything that's possible. I just better do it, because you never know. You never know when I need to sacrifice an artifact and gain 1 life. I mean, technically, it's not the worst here. You're not doing anything else, right? So sacrificing an artifact to gain 1 life seems like a great idea. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. Don't pay attention to me. You guys came here for education about how to play Zoo? You made a bad decision somewhere down the line. Alright, I'm not going to commit this to the board. I'd rather have an open mana to path something. Go ahead. Yeah, see, he did it, right? He gained 1 life. Jeez, man, super relevant. That 1 life actually is somewhat relevant. It's going to stop me from winning on the next turn. Yeah, okay, so we win that game. Cool. Cool! Love it. Love it. I love it, guys. Sure. So, okay, so we don't really know what kind of a Tron deck this is. This is one of those, like, just random, using Tron Shell to do something that's not Tron, but probably isn't as good as Tron. We know he's got artifacts. That's about it. So that Stony Silence was like extra good. Regardless, I don't know if there's going to be Worm Coil Engine in there or not, so I'm just going to leave in like the Path to Exiles over the Lightning Bolts. If I knew there's no like Worm Coil or Platinum Angel or something, then I just bring in the bolts. This sounds perfectly fine. I don't know. At worst, we can make one of our creatures indestructible. That's not relevant against an Ugin. If the guy's got money enough to buy an Ugin, I'd assume he's got money enough to buy like real Tron stuff, right? Sure. We'll keep this. Fuck it. Why not? Sounds great. To any of my viewers that are like younger than the ages of 12, I'm sorry, I'm a cursing. I'm from Philadelphia. This is just how we talk here. Sure, man, go for it. All right, I'm gonna go all in on this Blood Moon, guys. I'm gonna go all in on the Blood Moon. You know what? Fuck it. I was thinking about getting a basic, but the truth is, I've got two mana dorks. Fuck it. Let's just put out the turn 2 Blood Moon no matter what. Have 1/1 not wild in the coddles, beat the person to death. You know, that sounds great. That sounds exactly what I'd love to do here. Come on, give me a land. Oh, it's not a land. Well, it's a good card though. Gedok Tag is actually pretty good here. It does in fact stop everything but an O-Stone. Everything that's relevant but an O-Stone. I can't put out the Blood Moon anyways. So, I mean, our choice is either putting out Noble Hierarch so we can do Blood Moon next turn, or put out the Gedok Tag. I'm going to put out the Gedok Tag. Teague? Maybe that's how you pronounce it? Is it Teague? I didn't do any research on this one yet. Sure. I don't know why people do it like in response to me paying for like Gedok Teague. Just like it doesn't make a difference. I suppose like he can O-Stone next turn. Is this what's happening? No, it's a Chromatic Star. Chromatic Star, break for red. Pyroclasm my side. Oh my god, it's happening, isn't it? Oh, wipe out! Oh, wipe out! We're fucking dead! We're so dead! I don't even want to play. Good job, dude. You got it. You pyroclasmed my team away, and they're gone. So, Dash, you've got it. You just fucking got it. Guys, we're here for fun. This is what we're here for. If you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. This is not a GP. Oh. Yeah, sure. Why not? I'll take the turn 2, 3, and 4 Knight of the Reliquary. Sure, let's do it. Keep. God, that was awful. I'm gonna have to start drinking now. Hi, and good luck to you too. Nice manners. Hey, yeah. That's how you know it's really me. There's some guy running around saying with his name's Lantern, and he says "heya." It's me. Only I say that word. It's like I'm still like doing like AOL from back in the day. Noble Hierarchs. Don't bolt it. Don't bolt my bird. Don't bolt my bird. No bolts. Path to Exile. He's like, I got this spell snare. You want to see me use it? You want to see me use that spell snare? No. I'm just going to hurt myself a little bit over here and cast my Knight of the Reliquary. And then I'm going to walk away and grab my alcohol. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Cancel. There we go. Man, misclicks in MTGO are very real. They're the realest of the real. You'll tell on to turn. Yeah, you gotta come in here, though. Alright. We've got the beer. It's all good now. Everything's gonna be fine. This is Tiffany, my girlfriend.
Hello. I'm just creeping on the
creeping it real.
Creeping on the stream.
Creeping it real.
Just creeping it real.
Alright, let's see what we got here. Just catch up before I start drinking and ruining my life. I mean, we should probably bring in a forest at this point. Yeah, forest.
Okay, peace out.
So we have a 3/3 knight. It'd be kind of funny if I just ghost quartered one of his things to do more damage, but whatever. No one needs that. I'm assuming we're about to get Path to Exiled. I don't know why we would get anything other than Path to Exiled here. No path. He's like, no, dude. I'm trying to remand you. I'm trying to mana leak you. I'm trying to ruin snag you. Ruin. I'm so bad at words. Okay. So the question is, do we want to go for? Nah, we'll just go for another night. If we white sign board, that's fine. We still got more nights, so we've just got nights for days. All right, no counterspell. Seems fine. Guys, this is a pumpkin beer that I've been holding for like a half a year, almost 2 years now, just so that I can have it on the day that my contract lets out and I'm finally free of the terrible, terrible work that I've been doing for a year and having free time again. So, I'm going to enjoy this. Alright, I didn't bolt there. I didn't feel any real reason to. The Ghost Quarter is going to protect me from the colonnades that eventually happen. I'm actually going to keep a knight back. I don't really need to put any more pressure on the board here. So, I'm just going to go like this. I don't know why he's not really doing anything. But this can go ahead and get me either a wolf run or a manland, depending on what I prefer. So I'm just going to do one of those. Like, I don't need to put any more pressure on the board. I've got several Knight of the Reliquaries that are going to beat this guy down. Okay, fine. Question is, do I want to float a red and then go for it? No, that sounds like that's something I don't want to do. Floating a green doesn't sound like I'm getting anything benefiting out of that either, unless I destroy my... Yeah, why not? I've got more than enough mana, really. The question is then, do I go for the Keswick Wolf Run or do I go for the Stirring Wildwood? Oh god, that beer is so good. Let's see, do I get the Keswick Wolf Run or the Stirring Wildwood? Wolf Run gives me Trample, which is nice. I think right now I want the Stirring Wildwood, though. And see, the cool thing is this still lets me get a some sort of like benefit out of it, especially because now I've got access to green, basically all my colors again. At any point, I can go ahead and just deal more damage on the board too. I think at this point I'm just gonna bolt him in the face, so that way if I need to get a Keswick Wolf Run, I can, and just devote that red mana to it. Bolt in the face. You're a blue mage. You don't like those things. And of course I'm going to put some more stuff on the board now. If he activates his colonnade, I will simply just blow it up. Okay. So he's either going to wipe the board, and if he wipes the board, it doesn't matter because I'm going to still Stirring Wild him to death. I definitely think I should put something else on the board. Probably the Luxodon Smiter, since it can't be, like, Cryptic Commanded. I think that is my ultimate goal. Let's go ahead and do it this way. Just so that way he's like, oh god, he's got a bolt. He has the bolt and he's waiting. So I gotta keep up mana to counter things. Sometimes you can get a little bit of like advantage by clicking and then unclicking. Yes, that Luxodon Smiter cannot be countered. I'm sorry, guys. It can't be. Turn off the auto yield. Sphinx's Revelation for... yeah, I don't care. That's fine. Draw 2 cards, gain 2 life. That's fine. You better find some way to deal with the shit I am throwing down. He's probably a Thopter deck. I'm assuming that's what's happening here. I could always adjust attack with my Luxodon Smiter, and then, because that's lethal, but it's vulnerable to a Path to Exile. So I think I'm going to attack with both. I mean, I can get my Kessick Wolf run again at each point in time with this Knight of the Reliquary. The fact of the matter is that since we're on equal amount of like cards in hand, I've got 4, I guess, is actually a pretty bad situation for him because I've got way more on the board than he does. So you can Cryptic Command tap to draw a card, I suppose. Yes. Seems fine and dandy. Could have floated something there, but I did not. I want to save the Scavenging Ooze until I like desperately need it. I kind of want to hold on to the Qasali Pride Mage so that way I can blow up. You know, I still could have attacked for 3 there, and I didn't because I'm a dum-dum. Sorry, guys. I let you all down. Could have attacked for actually 4 because there was a thing right there. But that's fine. I'm just going to go ahead and actually cast just Noble Hierarch. Or, I'm sorry, Wild Nicodle seems like it's probably the best idea that I've got. Because I still want to put something else on the board, but something that if he wipes, I wouldn't necessarily mind if it dies, and that's gonna be it's gonna be the wild, Nicodles, the wildest of all the Nicodles. I want to hold on to the Qasali Prime Mage so that way when he puts down, eventually tries to do his combo, which is awful against this deck, mind you. With the Sword Thopter, I can just sort of like be like, yeah, it's like you just gained 5 life and wasted an entire turn. All right, so we still win the game. I knew that was going to happen. It was pretty clear that he was way behind on board, and I just was way ahead of him. That's just pretty normal. Normally I'd bring in Blood Moon, but he's just a 2-color deck, so it's not super great. He's bringing in Wraths, which is why Gadok Teague should come in. Gadok Teague. I don't know for sure that he is a Thopter deck, so I've got no reason to bring in the Hushwing. Valorous Stance is kind of a cool idea here. Thalias are going to go in no matter what. No matter what, I want my Thalias. I even maybe want Kitchen Finks. Sigardas are kind of cool too. But I don't think I need them right now. I want to take a better look at his deck. These are the 3 that I'm like desperately want. And I'm willing to cut Oozes for... Actually, I'm willing to cut Bolts for him, to be honest with you. The Bolts don't really do much, so I'm 1 behind. So it's either going to be a Valorous Stance or a Sigarda. I don't know he's a Swords deck yet, so I'm not bringing in that. I think the Sigarda is just a little bit more proactive, and I'd rather do that. While we're waiting, I have this beer. It's great. It's called the Imperial Pumpkin. It's a southern tier brewing company. It is awesome. It's my favorite beer of all time. If you can't notice that everything is like super pumpkin-y, just check over here and you'll see my pumpkin. It's because I like pumpkins. All right, cool. I'm gonna keep this in. I got no reason not to. It's got Arlen Cord in it. That's everything I ever want in my life. So one of the cool things about this version of the deck that has the Domries and the Arlins and the Elspeths is it's very, very, very similar to what Brian Kibler used to use when there was a lot of American control going on in the meta, as well as Jund. So it's actually very, very, very good against those two decks. Your Jund matchup stops going from like pretty bad to like pretty fucking good. Not saying it's like it's the best, but it's definitely better than like a lot of things. I don't mind seeing more Tarmogoyfs. Tarmogoyfs seem pretty all right here. I think I'm gonna fake the Blood Moon. I want to fetch just to thin my deck out anyways, and I've already got red, and my lands are pretty good here. What this does is it does two things. It means that when I get pathed, I only have one valid target now to get pathed. However, it's going to put the person on tilt because it means they need to get basics. Also, if they've got like they decide to keep a one land. If you're playing control, don't keep a one land hand. Sounds terrible. What are you doing? What are you doing? Look at that. He does have red in the deck. Who knew? Who knew? Maybe it's she. I don't know. The icon is a girl, so let's just go with she. Sure. Yeah, we can't like lose this game at this point. All we really got to do is say cast Domri. If you can't deal with it, then I'm going to cast another Planeswalker. I'm going to be casting 3 cards a turn at that point. You are going to be casting 0. And that's like so clearly going to happen. Yeah, let's go ahead and take that Luxodon Smiter. You know, I'm going to say yes, so that way I can cast 2 spells. Let's put the Gedok tag in there. If that gets countered, I'm very okay with it. I'd rather him get countered than my Arlen Cord. I could basically pretty easily tell that it was going to be a counterspell here. Top card of the library. It's a land. We'll see that land next turn. And I'm in no rush to win this. Even if he gets land every turn at this point, it's like we're still doing pretty all right here. And Domri's going to win this game single-handedly. I've got even no worries about it. Here at this point, again, I've got no reason not to wait for it. At worst, he counterspells it, and I attack him for 4 damage. Plus, then Domri goes off in 2 turns from now. Or that happens. Alright, so against this board, especially if he's got red mana, I kind of want to... Arlen's a tough card. I kind of want to uptick her, just because he's not doing anything to threaten me on board, so I have no reason not to uptick her, so that way she doesn't die to Lightning Bolt. And, I mean, Tarmogoyf is not dying to Lightning Bolt right now anyways. The only thing Tarmogoyf is dying to is a Path to Exile, which would thin out my deck and be perfectly fine by me. I swear to God, if this game goes long, I'm gonna ultimate both of them. He's gonna Lightning Bolt me. Okay. You're there, man. Lightning Bolt me. Oh, you're gonna do it to finish off Arlen? Is that you're really that worried about the Arlen? All right. Dude, Domri, you really should be more worried about Domri. Domri ultimating has won many, many, many a control game for me. Alright. I still have yet to ever go off with Arlen. Ever. Ever. I wish I did. It's just, apparently her bolting is just that fun to do. Cool, we got another Domri. That's funny. Let's go ahead and Domri right away. Sure, I'll take the Thalia. Yes. We'll even play the Thalia. As far as I'm concerned. I'm not going to cast this Domri for a little while. The funny thing is, if I ultimate with Domri, then I can just basically play everything that's in my hand and destroy. I've got no reason to play into a wipe spell. He could, like, Path to Exile, yeah, my Thalia, and then wipe spell me. But if he does that, I can then go negative with my Domri, play pretty much everything in my hand, and just win the game with double striking crazy creatures. Okay. I mean, you got to hit the Domri, right? See, that's the thing. And so instead of dealing with that or lowering my life total, he's got to deal with the Domri instead. And I'm just clinching this victory one by one. At any point, if he kills my Domri, he doesn't know this, but at any point he kills my Domri, I just simply win the game. And I'm not threatened whatsoever. I don't need to put anything on the board. I can just attack with this Tarmogoyf until he's dead. Until he's done gone. I will put a knight out. Just to put a knight out. It's above bolt level, so I don't really care. Andrew, I win the match. All right, we won the match, guys. All right, let me check the poll. See what the second highest is now for what do you call it? The what you guys want to see next. Go ahead and retype it in the chat if you guys want to see something specific, whether it be tribal zoo, aquarium zoo, or budget zoo. And we'll still go back to stuff. It's not like we're not going to go back to stuff, but I just want to see. Click the button. Okay. Alright, so no one's done anything on the poll, so I will just go to what the next one is, which is budget. Alright, let's talk about some budget zoos, guys. Let's talk about some budget zoos. We're going to have to go to the collection first, though, to show that off. By the way, this, everyone, was what I was playing. Sort by converted mana cost. My dog is going crazy. It's basically your normal zoo. It's got a very, very good curve. You can see what the curve is here. And I opted to go with the Bird of Paradise in order to sort of get into my bigger walkers and do more stuff. Leaning more heavily on the Qasali Pride Mages. And the sideboard is just good stuff to hit a bunch of stuff that's happening right now. The meta is still not 100%, panned down. So let's talk about this budget zoo. I built this budget zoo. I've always have like various budget zoos going on just in case, because I know people are just getting into Magic and they don't actually have a ton of cards. Some of these cards are very hard to get. Night of the Valkyrie is going up in price. Arlen, even though she's new and accessible, is expensive and likely going to get more expensive. So, you can't always do what you wanted to do. Even in the Gruul Zoo, which used to be like a super cheap zoo, it's no longer cheap. I mean, it uses Tarmogoyf, so it's not like it's super great. So if you don't have Tarmogoyf and you want to look at some cheap alternatives, this is a zoo list that I built for about $100. That's it. Pretty much everything in the deck, sans the lands, is about $1 per playset. And then aside from that, the only thing that's expensive is the Atarka's Command. The important thing that I wanted to focus on, even though I had a little bit of price here, $100, is that everything that you buy here you can use in a different zoo. You can upgrade it, you can work it out better. My path would be definitely get this as your mana base. The couple cards that aren't super great, aren't super used, are Carpetline Gorge and Carpoption Forest. Carp? I just call it Carp Forest. And this is like the grossest, like the grossest art, so it's only $1. Those are sort of expensive, as well as the Wooded Hills, as well as the Stomping Ground. But you want the 1 of Stomping Ground, and you want the 4 of Wooded Foothills, so that way you can sort of make sure you have a forest in play for Curdape. If you don't have that, then you can't really play the Curdape very easily, and your mana starts to become really tricky with this sort of more of a greedy mana base. So I wouldn't skimp on the mana base. I'd actually pay for the mana base. The Copperline Gorge online is cheap. It's $3 each. The Forest is $1 each online, so it's not the worst. You could probably get rid of the Forest and run something else if you want in paper, because I know Copperline Gorge is a little bit more expensive in paper. But I wouldn't do. I would run this mana base because it reliably lets you cast everything that's in your deck. The Atarkus Command is the only other thing that's expensive, but that is like the reason to play Gruul Zoo in my opinion. That and the Reckless Bushwhacker. So if you were gonna go ahead and not have the Atarkus Command, you might as well not be playing Zoo. So I'd get those things. The rest of it is really cheap. You got your Experiment ones, your Curdapes, which evolve Experiment ones, Rancors, which can be casted off of your Burning Tree mana, and give a permanent plus trample, which basically gives you reach. Rakdos Cacklers, which are sort of in place of things like Flint Hoofboar, or you could run Flint Hoofboar, by the way, on here. Or Goblin Guides is what it's taking place of. The Dryad Militants are taking place of sort of the Wild Nicodles. It's crappy to say that you can't run Nicodle in this build, but you can't run Nicodle in this build because the mana is not all there. Burning Tree, which is just always good. Jund Hackblade, which is like, you might sometimes even want to consider in your normal Gruul Zoos, they're that good. And your Naya Hushblades, which get Shroud. And the 3/2 Shroud is pretty good. That means it can't be bolted. So against like a blue deck, it's actually really good. I've got a 1 of Frantic here. It could really be anything. If you have a Domri lying around, it could be the Domri, for example. It could be basically anything. Your sideboard is all just stuff. It's all good stuff. The cool thing here is Unflinching Courage instead of Kitchen Finks. Unflinching Courage is just stupidly good on any of these creatures, with the exception of Naya Hushblade. You can't cast it on that because that's Shroud, old school. And all these are really, really cheap. This killed Thopter tokens and a bunch of other things. So Chokes are actually super cheap as well. They were uncommons. I think they're $3 to $4 each, but they kill blue mages pretty much dead. So overall, it's actually a pretty solid deck. It leans very, very heavily on its speed. If you can't outspeed a deck, you won't win. It doesn't have sort of that Zoo's ability to go sort of more in the mid game, but it works. It's a deck that you can in fact play. So let's play about 2 rounds with this. They'll be fast, if anything. Budget. Nissa's lover. Okay. We're playing with Nissa's boyfriend. Or girlfriend. I don't know. Who knows? It's Nissa. She's kind of free love, I guess, if you look at the lore. Normally one mana hands scare the crap out of me, but we're going second. And this is a really low mana cost deck, so I will definitely keep it. If we draw any mana, we're suddenly into a very explosive hand here. Are you going to cast the Serum Visions? That is the question. You know, you can tell that I play this game a little bit too much if I can call things like that just immediately. Nissa's lover, you're not playing green. How can you love Nissa without green? Oh my god, this is like eggs or something. Because the Lotus Bloom. Ugh. Lotus Bloom. Ugh. Gross. Alright. Hey, I don't need to... And hey, that's the other thing, is I don't actually need to pay life for my mana. That's something I'm like, whenever I put out a land like this, I go to click OK, like, yes, I know I'm shocking myself. But apparently, I don't need to shock myself. And who knew? Who knew? That's actually very good against burn. So, yeah, we want to unleash you. Unleash your inner demon, devil. Unleash. God, it's getting harder to play. Hey guys, yeah, you're right. It probably is ad nauseum with the blue and white, but let's see. Let's see if he puts out like an egg. If he puts out an egg, it's not ad nauseum. It's an eggs. It's. I guess Connolly. Okay, no. Temple of Deceit, absolutely ad nauseum. Correct. Dan R2000. And hello, LanternMTG. How are you guys today? Temple of Deceit, yeah, ad nauseum is like the only deck that plays that. More Serum Visions. Against ad nauseum, if you guys are ever wondering how to sideboard against it, because I don't think I'm going to win game 1 unless I'm like, I don't know. I could win game 1. It depends. If this is like the ad nauseum that runs like a lot of like fog effects or holy day effects, as I should explain it. No land. All right, well that sucks. I am playing like 18 lands though, so that's my screwed up. Least I can, the very least, I can put out a card 8. I was gonna bolt you, but then I was like, if I draw that forest, that'll be a very strong deck. Very strong move. Probably not gonna win game 1. Just gonna go ahead and say that. Oh, thank you, LanternMTG. I don't always play. Just if you guys are watching for me playing Zoo, I spend my free time playing Zoo, but the channel itself is actually mostly about MTG lore. So be warned. You're about to get the MTG lores on you. Yeah, I would love to have more subscribers. That would be very cool. It'd be very cool. Be like, look. So one of the main things, one of the reasons why I'm celebrating is I was working a contract that had me working 50 to 60, sometimes 70 hours worth of a week of hours, and I was very unhappy. So I'm changing my job to be more about writing, and this marks the first day of that. So I'm gonna enjoy my beer that I got on the day that I decided I didn't want to do that job anymore, and when I quit, I was gonna drink my beer, and I'm gonna enjoy this day. So that's a lot of mana. Hey, Forest! I made the right call with my crit 8. Look at that. We have two options. We can either go with a Hack Blade, which will give us 3 damage right now, or we can go with the Burning Tree, which will give us... the Burning Tree is going to happen no matter what. But then we do the Reckless Bushwhacker on top of it. I think the best bet is to go with Burning Tree into Reckless, because we don't know if we're going to get another mana. And if we got another mana, we could then Bushwhacker with anything, really. But the best idea is to probably do the Bushwhacker right now while we can guarantee that we have a Bushwhacker. So that's what I'm going to do. And then watch him fog me and then be really sad. Or just win next turn. You know, that's something that could happen. Right, I should have clarified. If I was going to do Jund, I was gonna play the Burning Tree no matter what. I misspoke. It was going to be between either Jund or Reckless Bushwhacker Surge-wise. We're going to go with the Surge Reckless Bushwhacker because we have that right now. It's not guaranteed to happen next turn. It'd be kind of crappy just to put out the Naya Hushblade. We're watching like Damnation just next turn. Just like, oh yeah, I run 1 of Damnation. Everything's dead. But for what it's worth, you should note that I'm still doing pretty good, even though I'm stuck on 1 land and I'm against a real deck. So it's not like this deck doesn't, can't win. It can. It's just very, very reliant on speed. See, drop him down to 5. This deck is actually, I think, more explosive if you really want to think about it than like, man, I'm wondering, I think I would have won if I had that mana when I needed it. But let's see. You might have the win right here. Let's go ahead and watch. There's Angel's Grace. There is Lotus Bloom. And that is probably going to be a game right there. I want to make a clear thing while he's comboing out. I'm not going to actually stop this because I want you all to see the combo. If you've never played this deck before, he's gonna draw his entire library, then use Lightning Storm to put a lot of storm on it, and then just like kill me, like with a huge blow up thing, with Lightning Storm. But there is a way to counter it that most people, if they're like stupid, will just like put all their lands immediately on you and be like, Lightning Storm for about 1 billion damage. If you have a land in your hand, you can actually retarget to them. Keep that in mind. I know it doesn't say that. It says it right here. Discard a land card, put 2 charge counters on it. You may choose a new target for it. Any player may do this while it's on the stack. So it's a weird card, but if for example, I was just sandbagging a land and he's just trying to make a point to be like, look, now you're dead. You're dead as hell. Then you can be like, cool, you got any other lands in your hand? I'm going to retarget you. Oh, you don't? Cool, I win the game, technically. So, you know, like, one of my big things is, against the combo deck, never let them combo out. A lot of the time. At worst, on Magic the Gathering Online, it takes their time away from them. You have no reason to, aside from, like, if it's giving them information, to make them to just concede right away. It allows you to either maybe fatigue them a little bit, because if they're playing a very hard combo deck like Eggs or something, overall that's actually a legit thing. He's probably not going to be stupid because he put me down just to -1 and that's it, and he still has like, how many cards in hand? 38 cards in hand. Probably still has some lands in there. But it's just worth noting. As far as what do you bring in against them, you can bring in healing stuff, like Unflinching Courage has the ability to gain maybe a lot of life against them. But mostly what you want to bring in is Artifact Destruction. Artifact Destruction can stop a lot of what they do, including their Mana Ramp or their Phyrexian Unlife. So that's what I would bring in. As far as what to bring out, probably Lightning Bolts, because they're just a one-shot damage, even though they're like quicker damage. They're not doing a crap ton. I think you more reliably wanted to attack with creatures. I didn't see any Holy Days with this guy, so I think that's probably the better thing. I could take out Atarka's Commands, but they do a lot more damage in this deck, especially if the guy's not interacting with me. So I think this is probably the correct thing. I could take out a Fanatic, but 4 damage for 3 mana is pretty good, especially if I get like a second attack on it. Again, Nissa's Lover, why aren't you playing green, man? I mean, I guess technically he is playing green, right? Because he's got like those Sunburst counters that could be anything. Oh, look at that. There's mana in that hand. I definitely will keep it. And not only that, I actually get to, yeah, look at that. I can get a Stomping Ground off of that too. Pretty good. Pretty good. I'm probably going to get to 3 mana, put 3 mana out, and then I'm just going to sandbag the rest of my my lands at any point in time, because I'm not going to need it, because at that point I will have nothing to use to cast them. And then off the off chance that I can win because he wanted to like prove a point or something, I could do that. So we're going to Burning Tree into a Jund Hackblade and do lots and lots of damage. The only way we wouldn't do that is if we drew an Experiment one. Then I'd probably put the Experiment one out first. Go ahead, man. Scry. Did you scry to the top or the bottom? Alright, we drew a land. Probably, you know, don't really care too much. I'm going to go ahead and get a Stomping Ground off of this. It's cool that I have this forest. It's not super necessary. It's like I said, I can now sandbag like a Copperline Gorge. Or the forest. I could probably just sandbag the forest, to be honest with you. And this is, like, I did build it with colorless in mind. Colorless does matter. Or color, not colorless, opposite of that. Multicolored does matter here. And that's why Curd and like Experiment 1 are like the only cards in the deck that are not multicolored. The more you take out multicolored, the more you gotta take out the Jund Hackblade. If Jund Hackblade was just like a 3/2 haste normally, you might like use him. Just use him. But with the multicolored claws, it's a lot harder. Let's see here. Serum Visions. Scry. All day Scry. I feel like the flavor of Ad Nauseam is just like some guy in a toga. Because there's so much Scry effects. And I know Scry is not like technically Theros. It's more like planar chaos since that's where it came from. But I kind of feel like it just, like, the flavor to me feels like it's very Theros now. So it's just a dude in a toga. Cutting off his own hands, putting pens in them. I guess chisels, because he's in a toga, and that's how they write. So he's got, like, chisels. It's like chiseling. He's a very chiseled guy. Oh, funny. We make jokes here. We make jokes. I think I'm even going to just sandbag both these lands, because I don't need to do any more than what I've got. Yeah, let's just sandbag both these lands. I'm going to put the Rancor on the card that matters the least, and that's going to be the Burning Tree. Just so that way if he, like, bolts, he's going to have to bolt my Burning Tree, and then leaves my, like, better cards alive. Oh man, did my video cut out for a second? Yeah, sometimes that happens. My upload speed with this Comcast is like not super great. Not my favorite. But it's okay because Google is coming soon. Gotta love the Google. Alright, dropping down to 3. Here we go. Now we're just gonna say, good luck, man. You've got it. Let's see if you've got it right now. I've got 2 lands in hand, so if like you decide to throw all of them at me, but a land, then I still can counter it. I don't think you can do it, especially with this suspended still. But you can feel free to try, man. You could do an Unlife, that would buy you a turn. Or you could Holy Day, I guess that would also buy you a turn, but it's like, it literally only buys you a single turn. We're just going to swing. This way, if he Holy Days, I can still... Well, I can kill him on his turn. And then I guess we got to put a stop on upkeep. Because it's got, like, it has split second. How do I end? Oh yeah, there's a new little tabby there. So on his upkeep, I'll just go ahead and Tarkus Command him. So he'll go down to 1 life, and then on his upkeep, I will Tarkus Command him to death. And great, he might have another Holy Day, and if he does, perfectly fine if he's got another Holy Day. It's going to stop him from dying. Holy Day, Angel's Grace is what I should have been saying. But the difference is now specifically, if he didn't have that, I would have won. But we still have the ability to stop his combo. So let's see if he's got it. He'd have to be able to do Ad Nauseam right now in hand. He's got 4 cards. He could have it. But if he doesn't, then that does mean that that we won the game because of that. Nope, he's got it. But we still have the. We still have the way to stop this, so that's fine with me. Let's see if he's just gonna go ahead and just like be like, "Whoa, bro, 17,000 damage," and then I can just be like, recast. We'll try it. I ain't got no reason not to. I made it look like I just was sort of mana screwed, and because I used my mana every turn. So, we'll see. Lightning Storm, sure. I'm gonna wait until we have priority, and then we can try to throw it back. Am I playing online? Yeah, I'm playing online. Not against anyone specifically, but just people. So, let's see. Three plus the... Let's see, it's X, where X is 3 plus the number of charge counters on it. So that's... X equals... let's see. 1, 2 charge counters. 3, 4 charge counters. 6, 8, 10... 12, 14, 16, but 16 plus 3, so yeah. So we are going to try to toss it. Yeah, we want to put a new target on it. Target Nissa's lover over there. See if... Do we win the game? Do we win it? That's fine. So let's see if they were holding 1 extra or 2. This is probably like a dumb thing. Like he probably has it. But it's worth doing just to see. Think that's going to us, right? Yep. All right, so we lost. But we put him at 2 before, and we put him at, like, I don't know, 5 before. So both times was pretty close, regardless. All right, one more deck. One more time. We will do one more. Not with Nissa's lover, though. Sorry. Sorry, you can keep Nissa. So, yeah. Nissa. She is totally racist, but for some reason people forgot about that in Magic the Gathering. Don't know why. That's the reason why the Eldrazi got loose, but she's like a free spirit now or something. I guess we'll keep this even though it's not like a good hand. It can be fine depending on what we draw next turn. At worst, we have a 4 damage dealer. Plus 3 damage bolt. And yield till end of turn. Hey guys who are new and watching, hello. Hi, welcome to my channel. Mostly I deal with lore-based stuff, but for now I'm dealing with various zoo forms and of the deck. Right now I'm playing a extreme budgeted version, which for only $100 you can play, and actually has a very good chance of winning your like F&M. I wouldn't take it to like a GP or anything, but it definitely has a shot at winning because it's just pure speed. Like this deck, if it draws the right hand, can even outrace burn. Like it's or infects. It has a turn 3 kill in it. If you got more like fetch lands in the deck, I probably would run things like like monstrous growth or whatever that's called. Brain farting on the actual name of it. Ancestral visions, huh? Okay, I can do that. I can be down with that. And Burning Tree into Bolt and Rancor is probably the way to go. At worst, the Rancor will go back into my hand. That's why I don't mind doing it. Because he's probably playing a Bolt deck. But even so, I mean, Ancestral's really slow against this deck. He's either going to win the game or lose the game by the time. Will I make another video on this? Maybe. I mean, I stream it, so I don't see why I couldn't. Probably would not do the extremely budgeted version, but I might do like my other versions. Alright, we're not going to win this deck. I don't necessarily want to show him what's in my hand, and since I absolutely know that I'm not going to win because speed isn't there, I'm just going to go ahead and sideboard right now. So he is a blue deck. He's probably running... like, I literally don't want to just show him other stuff that I have. Make him sweat it out. And he's got a lot of removal. Certain stuff is not super great here. Bushwhackers are pretty good. Tarka's commands aren't super great here unless he's got like other stuff that he's doing. We should just win on speed. I'm pretty sure we'll win just based on speed. And if he's running things like Ancestral Visions, we just need to have a hand that lets us be speedy. Like this is a hand maybe that'll let us be speedy. We need to have another land here, but that's fine. And if he's gonna mulligan down to forever, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine, guys. Yes, and we're gonna cast the experiment one. Kind of sucks we don't have like any way to turn on Jund Hackblade right now, but it isn't the worst. I'm genuinely okay with him putting out like an Ancestral Visions or something. Even if we draw slow, I still should be fine. Even in these bad hands, thank you, LanternMTG. Even in these bad hands, at least you know the experiment one is still like does the equal amount of damage as a Curd Ape, so it's worth noting that. Thing in Ice. Okay, that's fine. Whatever he blocks is getting bolted, so that's fine. I'm not messing with that Thing in Ice. And if he doesn't block, then we'll just probably cast either the... We'll probably cast the Curd Ape. Like I said, I'm not messing with Thing in Ice. Go die. Go die, Thing in Ice. I'll just keep doing damage to you. I don't mind. Go ahead, Serum Vision. Fix your hand, man. Fix that hand. Guys, right up on the corner of the video, there's an eye. If you click that eye, oh sweet, we got to land. If you click that eye, there's a poll. If you scroll down on my cards, and you can tell me what to play next. So go ahead and do that if you want to see a different version of Zoo. I will look at it in a second. Think the correct move here is just to put out the Rakdos Cackler and then follow it up with a Curd Ape, so that way I have a hasty Jund Hackblade. He's not gonna shoot the Rakdos Cackler. He doesn't think the Rakdos Cackler is any good. Little does he know it's going to enable something amazing. Yeah, we want it unleashed. Let's put out that Curd Ape. If you count as the Curd Ape, really, I don't mind. It's actually more important to me to get that. Why would you Lightning Helix the Crit Ape in response to that. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to deal an extra damage to you because of it, and have the ability to regenerate. That was a bad move, but it's okay. I guess because he thought... No, it doesn't make any sense. That does not make any sense. Sorry, there's no answer for that one. Just take the damage. Just take the 1 extra damage. You would have been at 14 if you bolted that. Whatever. Not going to question it. You put out a mountain, so there's going to be no wipe spell coming towards me now. Rakdos, I'm going to sandbag you, so if I ever draw another land, I can just Reckless Bushwhacker here. And we're going to go for a hasty attack here. We're going to line ourselves up for victory. The fact that I'm still in the game is, by the way, should show you that there is some power in even just this, like, budgeted version of this deck. Okay. Sure. You gonna Lightning Helix something in response to it? Or are you gonna wait until it comes in and then Lightning Helix? Wait. I would wait until it comes in and then Lightning Helix it, but... you're doing it. You're doing it, man. Especially if you targeted my experiment one with that, that's going to be a bad decision. Because what's going to happen is... Okay, that's fine. I can just regenerate and then it will come in with a 1/1 counter on it. Again, you should have hit like maybe the Rakdos Cackler with it. I'm still going to attack. There's no reason I don't attack here. I should have attacked with the Rakdos Cackler as well, but I just didn't. That's because of the beer. I still have a ton of stuff I can do though, so it's not like this game is anywhere near over. Oh, let's go for a repeat play. I will go for a repeat play. If you're using all your burn against me, then it's not going to be super favorable for you. Because you're just going to run out of things in hand. That's fine. Mana Leak is fine. So I'd rather get Mana Leaked and attack for like 5 damage than not. So you're just going to flash that in to kill off my Rakdos Cackler? That's a fine trade. I would rather you not have anything good take flashback with that and still take damage. That sounds perfectly fine. You have two cards in hand. I've got 3 cards in hand. Well, turns out you technically have 1 card in hand. I suppose you can sort of filter a little bit, but it's still not a super great situation for you, right? Because even if you use a burn spell on my experiment one, I can still regenerate from it. Alright, we are going to go ahead and use at least a Rakdos Cackler. Got no reason to bolt him right now. I suppose maybe he's got a Mana Leak in there and he's just saving it, but I don't know. You'd probably have to use your Mana Leak at this point. Let's see what you got. Anything up your sleeve? Maybe like a Cryptic Command? I've got Lethal with a Bolt, so I don't need to put the Rancor on yet. And if he, like, snaps out a Snapcaster, that's fine, too. Now, before that goes on the stack, I can Bolt. I think I just Bolt the Snapcaster Mage here. And then I just don't cast anything. Like, That's fine by me. And if he remans here, I still have the ability to do it. So I just don't cast anything. I just would just say, that's fine. I've got more stuff on the board than you do. Take you down. Now you don't have flashback, so I don't care. And I still have cards on the board. So, yep, cool. We got it. Ultra budget list still beats Snapcasters. And that's what the Zoo deck should do, is beat blue decks. It's one of the reasons why Zoo is still, like, tier 2, in my opinion, and not tier, like, 1. Because blue is not the best color in Modern, even with the addition of Thopter Foundry and, like, an Ancestral Vision. Ancestral Vision does nothing to help it against the, like, aggro decks. Like, this is a great start. And Thopter Foundry is not actually just a immediately win combo like, I don't know, like Twin or something. Like, Twin was the best. And Thopter Foundry is good, but it's super grindy, and it needs, like, at least 3 turns. Like, the minute you put it out there, you're ahead in terms of, like, advantage, but you need, like, 3 to 4 turns to actually win the game. Alright, so it looks like we're going to do a lot of damage. I'm playing some basics, just make him think maybe Blood Moon could happen. Dryad Militant's actually super good against this deck. It's one of those, like, not exactly tier 1 options, but it's, like, very close behind because it does in fact, like, make Snapcaster Mage awful. So let's see if this gets countered, and if it doesn't, we're going to go in for a lot of damage. Alright, it does not. So we're going to go for a cast with Surge. We still even have a secondary Bushwhacker to blow up with a Bolt next turn. And everything has haste now, so even if they kill, like, my Dryad Militant, it's, like, pretty fine by me. Pretty fine. It's pretty fine. We are definitely holding the Blood Moon idea very, very real. Look, man, if you want to trade Snapcaster for, like, my Dryad Militant, feel free. I'm okay with trading one of your cards and still doing 5 damage. Perfectly fine by me. Yeah, we're representing this Blood Moon hard. Let's just go ahead and go with Copperline Gorge. We'll go ahead and bolt you. And then we're going to cast this with Surge. If you counterspell, that's fine. You're still taking 4 damage. Path to Exile. Okay. Alright, so now you're taking 5 damage instead. I mean, I guess you can Snapcaster, but that's a pretty bad Snapcaster right there. I mean, you're at 6, I'm at 20. That's saying something. Now, granted, I've got, like, pretty much nothing in my hand. So, feel free to do things like your bolts. We might not just get there, especially if we draw, like, extra lands like that. Ugh, gross. But at most, we get bolted once if you Snapcaster into a path that, like, definitely sucks for me. But you are definitely in bolt range now. That's kind of gross. But sure. You're still taking 2 damage and going down to 1. And you draw, but it might be a little bit too late, man. You're at 1. At any point in time, I get a lightning bolt, you're dead. Let's go ahead and just crack this. Let's make him really fear the Blood Moon and just go with more basics. That is what you can do. You are playing a Blood Moon-esque deck, so you can, in fact, just make him fear the basics. Sure, Thing and Ice is going to stop me from attacking. That is, in fact, a truth. So we've got nothing good to cast with this, so we're just going to cast it. I have really no reason to attack into... Well, I guess I do have a reason to attack into Thing and Ice. It's not like... Well, it's not like he's not going to block it, so I'm actually just not going to attack. Sure. This deck has a lot of basics in it because it doesn't have a lot of money for mana bases. If I attack, I give away the knowledge that I have something up my sleeve, or I don't have anything up my sleeve when he just blocks and nothing happens. So I'm basically just looking for some way to win here. This isn't gonna win the game for me, but could. Sure, Choke is gonna stick around now, I guess, and say at least 1 mana of his is not gonna untap, and then at least 1 red of his is not gonna untap if he uses it. And it is literally just doing its job. It's just choking. If we got that way earlier, we'd be likely to win, but not now. This deck could use like a Dryad Arbor. How much is Dryad Arbor? Probably could use a Dryad Arbor. Seems fine. Go for it. You got it. Nothing I can really do about it. So we're unlikely to win now. Ugh, that Rancor would have been like very good at some point in time. I mean, sans us drawing a lightning bolt and him having some sort of like not having any counterspells whatsoever right now. Like I could, God, it really does need a Dryad Arbor. If I had a Dryad Arbor, I could fetch for the Dryad Arbor right there. But you know, those are things. Those are things. God, Forest. Yeah, great. More land. That's exactly what I need. He's probably got counterspells for days. But if like all his counterspells is like Mana Leak, we can still win a counterfight technically. We ran out of fetchables. Okay, great. Fantastic. Well, most of our fetch lands are in the graveyard at this point, so... Sure, let's just go for it, because we have no real reason not to. I mean, we're enabling a counterspell, technically. I'm allowing him to bolt me to death at this point. Like, lose my Rancor. But what the fuck else am I going to do? His match has turned pretty stally. I've got nothing in hand. If I was going to bolt here, I would have bolted. The flip end is if I do draw a multicolored permanent and just play it, I can theoretically just win the game. Oh, that kind of sucks. At least Rancor goes back to my hand, right? Not that that really matters all that much here. I guess I play it right now. just so that way... If he's got counter spells, I mean, I gotta make him use the mana right now. Spell Snare! Fuck. Well, we survive an attack, so... That kind of sucks, right? Oh, it only affects creatures, so choke stays out. I've never actually been in that situation. It's good to know that. I guess I don't give him the opportunity. Does it have trample? I mean, all he has to do is literally cast a spell, right, to just win the game. All right, concede. I'm not gonna waste my time. All right, so did not win those matches. Sorry, guys. I tried, but that is something I tried. Let's go ahead and play Tribal Zoo next. Yeah, let's try Tribal Zoo next. Just to show what I'm doing for Tribal Zoo over here. I said minimize. Tribal Zoo. In case you guys didn't see it, you can always rewind the video too. That's an option. Is that I'm going for Tassiker and Siege Rhinos and Geist Saint Traft. I'm just literally trying to play the best things that are possibly in colors right now. My sideboard's just a mix of things that are very good. You can see that I've got Tribal Flames, Abrupt Decay, Lightning Helix, sort of to balance out the fact that I'm hurting myself all the time. And all this stuff is just very good against what the current meta is right now. So there it is. You guys can always pause the video back there, rewind if you want to see it more in detail. This hand is actually pretty keepable. So we'll keep it. It's literally Tribal Zoo is saying, hey, I'm just going to play all the best possible things that I could play and see if I win the game. Man, I did a number on this beer. This is a huge beer. Alright. Nothing happening. So our hand immediately got better with that Tarmogoyf. Because it means that we can go for the Noble Hierarch, put the Tarmogoyf out there, or we can bolt and then put the Tarmogoyf out there as a turn 3 play. The hard part of Tribal Zoo is its land base. I obviously need green, and I have to decide whether I should go with the green with this or this. I believe this is the best way to go. Simply to go for a Temple Garden, because if I draw a Geist of Saint Traft, I need the blue here. So I'm not going to be able to use this for like both of the cost. The forgiveness of the mana on Tribal Zoo is so fucking low. It's so low. You need to know your mana base back and forth. That's why I highly suggest that no matter what you do, if you're doing Tribal Zoo, I would suggest you to build your own mana base. Don't look at stock mana bases, just build your own mana base. If you go onto the Zoo thread on MTG Salvation, on the Zoo thread that I wrote, in the very beginning of my my primer, I actually have a way to build mana bases for this kind of deck. I would suggest you guys look at that if you ever want to attempt to do a Zoo Tribal deck. Cool. That's a cool draw. I'm very happy with that. I need to get rid of this right away because this is going to become annoying if it just continues to exist. So I'm going to put the fetch land out, and then I am actually going to take the mana. Well, yeah, I'm going to take the damage for it. Because, fuck it, why not? I have all my mana in here that I possibly could have. We just need red. And I'm going to deal the bolt to the Young Pyromancer. Get rid of that thing. C'est la vie. And then put the Tarmogoyf out there for a 3/4. Yeah, that's the way to go. Right, guys? That's the way to go. Oh god, I decided to leave like the combo where I need to like pay attention the most to be like the last thing I do as I'm drinking. That's like a terrible decision. That was a terrible decision on my end. Okay. 4 mana, we know where this is going to go. It's going to go towards a Siege Rhino. But we're going to attack first. The reason why we're attacking first is because we want to say, hey, if you want to do something with your mana right now, you want to kill my Tarmogoyf. Which I'm okay with. I'm literally okay with him using his mana to kill my Tarmogoyf. And if he doesn't, cool, we get 4 damage in. The question is now whether I just want to cast the Wild Mikado and just leave my Siege Rhino for later. I think that's probably what I want to do at the end of the day. I also am going to take some damage because I want to make sure that if he like mana leaks me, I can actually pay for it. I'm in no rush. I mean, I'm at 12 life, but he's got nothing on the board to really impress me. At worst, he can kill my Tarmogoyf at end of turn, but then he already took the 4 damage, which is like not super great on his end of things. Alright, he's paying for... Ooh, that's a card. Sure. Well, I can still beat it with the Tarmogoyf, because I get the 1/1. So it's, like, not super impressive. I can also trade at any point in time here, and just, like, let him gain 3 life and then bolt it. I think that's maybe the play. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just attack here, and if he decides that he wants to do the safe block with the Tarmogoyf, he can. Otherwise, he could do the advantage block by doing it with the Wild Mikado, and it's basically I'm trading a 2-for-1. Or he just takes all the damage and he knows that I have a bolt. All of these things are fine with me. Every single one of those things are okay with me. Let's see here. Okay, so he's just going to let all the damage go through. Seems perfectly fine by me. It actually puts me at a distinct advantage then, because it means that I can theoretically just bolt him to death at this point. I put him on 6, so technically he's at 3 life, although he's going to gain 3 life off that Kalidas. I need one of those for my Reaper King decks. Yes, if you could not guess based on what I do, that Reaper King is in fact my EDH general. That's just how life works. So I mean, he could kill my Siege Rhino and then get like a token, but at the end of the day, that's still not the worst thing. This guy doesn't have flying, right? So I can still block him. I've never actually faced one of these guys in Modern before. I bet he's pretty good in like a Jund or like a Grixis-esque deck. It's just we've put a lot of pressure on him. We've basically said, you've got a lot of threats you need to answer right now. Not only do you need to kill the Siege Rhino like ASAP, this guy is not the best blocker because of my Lightning Bolt. And... Dismember, huh? On the Siege Rhino. Sure. Sure, you get a zombie. I'm okay with that. Sure, you gain 3 life. But the problem is I'm probably going to win next turn at this point because I've got Bolt. And yeah, you can't take the life off of that or else I'm probably just going to win anyways. We'll just swing with both. Let's see if he has a Dispel. Dispel is the only card that could possibly win here. Okay, so there's really nothing I can do there. Sure. I forgot to do lifelink maths. Derp. Yeah, I guess the longer that Cletus is out, the better it is for them. Which is probably very true. But, like, again, if he attacks me, I'm actually okay with it. He needs to have a removal spell to back it up, I suppose. Okay. Let's see, if I draw a path, I win the game. Geist's Entrapped is pretty fucking good here, too. I'm okay with sacrificing either one of my creatures, although I'm not going to sacrifice the Tarmogoyf. It's just not going to happen here. A Dismember might happen, but then he could just dismember my Tarmogoyf. But I'm willing to trade the Kalites for the... I believe if I bolt this right now, right, he doesn't get the zombie token. Because then he dies based off of damage. And then the zombie token doesn't happen. I think that's what happens, right? I've drank a lot of beer. I don't know if that's true. But I think that's what happens here. Dismember. Okay. He's going to cast the Dismember, right? And then he's going to dismember my Wild Nacatl. Which means he doesn't gain any life. It definitely means he gets a zombie token. But he definitely loses 3 damage. Definitely loses 3 damage, goes down to 3. So that's still fine with me. And we're going to put out a Geist's Entrapped, which can't be targeted. That's worth mentioning. And, I mean, the 4 damage, this is pretty good. It's a pretty good situation for us. Not the best. I wish this was like a path or something. Let's see. What does he do? I mean, he's got a grip full. He's got an advantage, right? He's got the card advantage, so he should theoretically be at a better state than I am. He's got blockers. The Geist kind of puts him in a bad spot. Yeah, I think he needs to attack with the Kalatis. Because that way... I'm not going to block. You got it, man. You're in for 3. It puts him back at 6. Which kind of sucks. Well, it puts him at fucking 5. Shit, I forgot that he has that ability. Pretty dope. Pretty fucking dope. I'll admit that. Well, Siege Rhino changes math a little bit. I think he loses. Unless he's got a counterspell for Siege Rhino. Right? Unless he's got a counterspell for Siege Rhino. Could have a removal spell. Alright, he's got the flash. He can't flash anything back, but he can block. Alright, fair enough. Fair enough. He's not going to cast any sort of spell on me. So let's just go ahead and cast that Siege Rhino then. Like, at worst, I block with my Noble Hierarch, right? And then, I don't even really need to block with my Noble Hierarch. He's either got removal spell or he's got useless spells. Like, counter spells, not super great right now. Thought Seizes, not super great right now. I do put him at 1. That does mean that we're sort of at a standstill. I can't really attack, because then I lose my Siege Rhino. I make him lose a zombie, but he'll just sacrifice the zombie instead and then put it on there to just gain more life. So that's that. Although it does put me at an advantage, because at any point in time, if I draw any of my, like, 7, well, I guess 5 damage spells, I'll win the game. Although there's Siege Rhinos as well. I forgot about that. So there's actually more damage spells as well to consider. These games with the Tribal Zoo do go a little longer than you'd think they would. Alright, well, I have to block. Because otherwise I'll just sacrifice the zombie. Might as well sacrifice the zombie right now anyways. Abrupt Decay is in fact a card. Okay, need to think. Try to overcome the alcohol. Attack here. If he double blocks, he still loses 1 life. If I attack all out and he double blocks, then I can win the game. If I Abrupt Decay right now and he blocks this way, then I lose the game, because he just attacks with Kalitas and wins. Right? Because, well, but then he needs to block. Well, he doesn't have to block here. He's going to block here to gain 3 life. He blocks here. He blocks here. Do 2 damage. So that's not going to happen. He's not going to block there, because even if he blocks here, I do 4 damage. It's not enough. But if I Abrupt Decay this zombie token, then he has to block my Tarmogoyf, or else he dies. Unless he has a removal spell, and if he has a removal spell, I'm dead anyways. So we Abrupt Decay 1 of his zombie tokens. Why can't I just draw like a damage spell? That would have ended the game a long time ago. And then we just attack all out. He has to block. Oh, but then he has to block. And he just sacrifices in response. Like an idiot I am. He's going to pay for the sack abilities, right? Just sacrifice in response, right? Any mana gets tapped, I lose the game. Because I'm an idiot and forgot about that. I was going to lose the game anyways, even if he doesn't do that. Yeah, alright. Derp. Whatever, that was close. It was close. My bad. What did he bring in? What did he bring in? He's got a lot of removal spells, so maybe this stuff. He's also got a pretty shitty mana base, so maybe the even mind sensors. These all seem like good ideas. Kalitas is pretty good, man. Those are what I would bring in more than anything else, if I was going to bring in anything. What do I take out, though? Well, he didn't really have anything that I wanted to Lightning Bolt, so I guess I take Lightning Bolt out. Tribal Flames is still pretty freaking good here. But maybe Abrupt Decay we can take out. And Lightning Helix. I guess we take out more Lightning Helixes. And then bring in back some Lightning Bolts, because they're cheaper. Yep, let's do that. Seems good. Let's go for it. Tribal Zoo stuff, man, is way longer. It's so much more grindy than I'm used to in normal zoos. It's not bad grindy, it's just grindy. Alright, one more time if I'm going to plug this, because I'm still waiting on him to submit his deck. This channel is mostly about MTG lore, me just talking about like lore in general. I'm going to be doing a very big push on more lore as time goes on. So if you guys are interested in learning more about the Magic the Gathering storyline, since I am a screenwriter, go ahead and subscribe. Say hello, you know? And if you want to see Zoo, you want to see more aggro stuff that I've always played in Magic the Gathering, this is like a pretty awful hand, I gotta admit. Then go ahead and also subscribe, because I'm going to do streams a lot about aggro stuffs in general, because that's what I run. I run that on the MTG Salvation forum. All right, let's keep going. We'll keep this hand. It has a turn 3 Rhino. That's worth mentioning. All right, Paris Mulligan. Yeah, that's fine. Let's keep it on top. Not that it matters. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and smash it away with a fetch land. Alright, we're going to start with the Noble Hierarch. Hopefully it doesn't get bolted, because that makes my plans a lot worse. We want to probably start with the Stomping Ground, so that way we have access to red as our turn 2 play, in case we need to, like, I don't know, kill a Dark Confidant or something. Although sometimes with the deck you want it, like, to leave the Dark Confidant alive, just because of the sheer amount of damage they'll do to themselves over the grindy game. You can just keep pushing in Tribal Flames to win the game. Sure, Inquisition's either going to take a Tribal Flames or a Tarmogoyf. Probably Tarmogoyf is going to be my guess. In which case, I could probably, just to save time, just Tribal Flames and attack with my Noble Hierarch. But I am getting rid of I am getting rid of whatever, like... Ha! Tarmogoyf. Alright, never mind. I'm just going to go ahead and play Tarmogoyf, and I'm still going to attack with the Noble Hierarch. Because why the fuck not? We're going to go with a Godless Shrine. And the reasoning being so that we can still play a Geist of St. Traft if we get it, and still play a Siege Rhino on time. So here you go. Now you know what we drew. It's totally a Tarmogoyf. And I'm going to attack for 1. There's no reason not to attack for 1 damage. Sometimes Noble Hierarch is like the best attacker in the deck, especially if there's like an Ensnaring Bridge and you've got like a Keswick Wolf Run. Shit's good. Shit's good. Alright. Let's try to bring it back in. What are we playing against? Realistically, he's going to take a lot of damage from his mana, though. So it's actually pretty alright for us. I don't have any reason to cast a Siege Rhino into a like mana leak or something. I'd rather make it look like I don't have mana, and then he'd be like, "Oh yeah, he's not gonna be able to do the Siege Rhino. Then let me get rid of the Tarmogoyf and go ahead and destroy his creature with a Terminate." See, called it. Even a pretty drunk Andrew right now can call those plays. Perfectly fine by me. You got it, man. Oh my god, no, wait, there's the land. Nope, there's the land. Turns out I'm still okay. Here's the Siege Rhino. Enjoy the Siege Rhino. I'm going to go ahead and drain you for 3. Oh man, you don't have a land? It's not good for you. It's not good for you. I usually play lands on my second main. This is going to be 5 damage. That's a lot of Siege Rhino damage, man. Oh, you got another one. That's fine. I am not going to cast my Tribal Flames. While it's nice to do 4 damage for 2 mana, I'd rather do 5 damage for 2 damage. 5 damage for 2 mana. Oh my god. I've drank too much. This is a really high alcohol content, if anyone doesn't know. How much is it? I can't remember. It's like 12%, isn't it? Something crazy like that. But if he doesn't have any land, then there's no reason for me to rush this. especially since like any sort of like thing he puts out, I can still deal with. Let's put out that Geist. Got the counterspell? Got that remand? Nope. All right, well that's gonna be pretty crappy for you then. This makes it better now that I've left out the Tribal Flames, because that means that even if he puts something down to block, I can kill it. He must have just drawn that Serum Vision. I can't imagine he didn't just draw that Serum Vision. And he's trying to get himself out of his land situation. Sucks. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I play Mana Dorks, though, is because I hate being in that land situation. I mean, so he can get a Snapcaster Mage to block, and even if he does, it deals 4 damage, and I still get the Tarmogoyf. Plus, he gets no real... Well, no, he doesn't really get the Snapcaster Mage value either, because the Exalted. That's a thing. Exalted is, in fact, a thing. Tribal is doing pretty well. Way better than I thought it was. Gives you a lot of options. So we'll just go ahead and cast the Tarmogoyf here. If he takes like 2 damage to get like a non-basic island, then we've got him with the Tribal Flames. And I'm even willing to Tribal Flames him right now. And the main reasoning is so that way he can't use mana. Like, he can't fetch land next turn. If he fetch lands, he dies. So we've more or less stuck him on 3 mana for next turn. Yeah, that seemed like a good plan. Let's go for it. Let's go for round 2. Round 3. Yeah, the idea there was just simply if he can't put out a 4th mana, there's no Kalitas, therefore I'm not worried about him gaining life to sort of go over the threshold so he doesn't die, and then my board being like pretty crappy, even though in that respect I'd still have the Tribal Flames. I don't know. I think that was the correct move. It's pretty hard to tell what the correct move is at this point. All right, so he's changing some stuff to his sideboard. Probably going like, yeah, these counterspells are terrible. I wish I had a Mana Dork here. That would make my life a lot better with this Aven Mind Sensor, but the fact that we have a Wild Nacatl to put him on immediately having to deal with my answers is actually pretty good. I wish there was like another Wild Nacatl. If there was 2 Wild Nacatls, Zoo would be absolutely tier 1. Just without any worries. Sure, you can Inquisition. It's not going to stop the 2 Rhinos from coming down eventually, which is going to be a lot of damage. Mana Dork. No Mana Dork this time around. Oh, I guess I didn't need to crack this right away. I'm giving away information, but we've got red-black. I guess what we want is probably some green and white. I don't know, maybe if he's got a Leonard and Arbinger. You know, maybe that's the reason why we cracked it. Maybe he's got some Ghost Quarter. Who knows? He doesn't. He doesn't. I'm just making excuses. Alright, so we have a sort of a delayed plan. I kind of want to use the Tribal Flames, but at the same point, maybe I shouldn't. No, I'm going to do it. I'm absolutely going to do it. Because if he decides to Mana Leak, that's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm getting the Mana Leak out of his hand at least, so that way I can put it in the Aven Mind Sensor. At worst, it puts him on less life than me. Alright, so he decided not to give himself red right away. That probably means that he has like a red Shockland in his hand, or just another fetch land. He knows that I have the Aven Mind Sensor, so he absolutely needs to go for it right now. So he might have the Remand. I'm trying to think if it matters that I cast my Aven Mind Sensor right now. I mean, he knows I have it. So I'd rather not give him a window. We need to get either green or white. Probably white, since I can still get a fetch like basic green here. Although getting blue sounds good. Decisions. I think I'm gonna get this. Just call it a day. I mean, he can put out a fetch land, so the only reason I would do that right now, but I'd rather him tap mana for a counterspell. So, like, if he puts out a fetch land right now, I'm kind of screwed because then I have to, like, wait, theoretically. But now I don't. Now I don't have to wait. I'd rather him use his mana on his turn, so that way I can see Drino in clear. Into the clear. So if he mana leaks right now, that's perfectly fine with me. If he doesn't, that's also perfectly fine with me. Especially since he's used his red to do this, that means that I could have may have screwed his fetch land right now. And he puts it on the bottom and then bottoms, so he didn't like whatever he drew. I should be winning the long game, especially if it's just like mana leaks or discard that I'm dealing with. If he's got like a bunch of Inquisitions of Kozilek in his hand, he's kind of screwed. Drag Skull kind of shitty because if he bolts me or forked bolts me, we go down to parity. He still has mana to mana leak me. What's he paying for 2 mana? What, like a Dark Confidant? Dark Confidant. It has to be a Dark Confidant. Guys, this is one of my first time streaming, so if I'm doing something wrong, if I'm not speaking loud enough, or I'm like not pronouncing my words perfectly, let me know. I think I'm okay with this coming out, because I'll just give him whatever's the worst card next turn, and I still can, like, I see Drino, and see Drino still blocks this thing perfectly fine. We will pay this for a basic, I think, just to make sure our life total stays above. And we're going to see Drino. And next turn we can see Drino plus a Path to Exile, so that ain't bad. That ain't a bad deal. I think if he attacks, I just let it go through, because that means he's got a Bolt in hand. And I don't feel like losing my Siege Rhino right now. An Inquisition would actually kind of hurt. Sure. You have dismembered that. It has been dismembered. I will remember that you have dismembered my Siege Rhino. But, you know, I still already gained 3 life off of it, so it's not like it's been that worse. Plus, I dealt 3 damage to him. So we're going to go for another basic here, because I can. And we're going to cast Siege Rhino again. Need a white in order to cast Siege Rhino. And I'm also going to Path to Exile right now while he still doesn't have the mana to deal with it. And then Tarmogoyf does quite a bit next turn. But yeah, Siege Rhino has just gained 3 life and drained 3 life, plus 6 life total, technically. So, plus he made him discard a card, so I don't know. I think that's probably fine. Especially since he paid 3 mana to discard that card to Siege Rhino. He could terminate it still. Bolt is not taking it down. You'd have to Bolt plus something else, which is not like the best thing to do in the world. Siege Rhino still kills this, and I've got a 4/5, so that's not like it's going down. I mean, I guess he could terminate it right now, which would kind of suck. Because then he'd start dealing more damage than what my Tarmogoyfs are doing, plus gaining life. But we'll see. I mean, he's only got one card in hand. I don't know why he wouldn't be playing the discard spells if he has them. I mean, might as well, right? I guess you could block and then... No, you just block. I guess you block and bolt is really what you're trying to do. Regardless, I mean, look, the Siege Rhino did its job. There's some more Tarmogoyfs. They're Siege Rhino sized. If you want to spell snare it, feel free. I don't mind you spell snaring it at this point. Colligan's command, so that's what you're doing to bring it back? Fine, fair enough. Well, that's actually pretty good, because then you can cast it again, right? I guess you can cast it again at this point, and it still blocks and gains you some life while blocking. I'm just going to go for the attack here and just make it look like I've got something in my hand. I'm going to play that land. It's not like I'm not going to play that land. Mine as well. So guys, speaking about my lore channel, if you guys want to subscribe, you can, and you will then also see a recap of the current Shadows over Innistrad lore. That's the video I'm currently working on. So go ahead if you want to learn more about it without actually having to read, because I know people don't want to read nowadays. Perfectly fine. I technically don't want to read nowadays, and I have an English degree. Plus a bolt. Okay, sure. Does that give you a zombie, technically? Because it dies simultaneously while existing? Yep. Alright. I should be fine here. Now I should be favored unless you draw something, like, incredibly good. Because our card advantage is sort of equalized, but I have the better creature on board. A Colligan's command would suck. But I guess wouldn't be the worst. I'm playing this land, and normally I would hold the lands. I'm playing the land because I want to get rid of it and thin out my deck a little bit more. I still have at least 2 more fetches I can get a hold of. Probably don't want to attack because I'm gonna kill you soon if you let me just attack straight through. Alright, so I've got like a bunch of stuff. Based off what I have a lot of things that can fetch green and a couple things that can fetch white and a few things that can fetch red. So I would rather get what I can get the least, which would be let's see, the Hollowed Fountain. This is what I can get the least. So I'd rather just get that one. Alright, Bolt is good. I like Bolt. Who doesn't like a Bolt? The reason you play Modern. Dude, if they ever ban Bolt, I'm not going to play Modern anymore. I'm just going to go back into Legacy. Snapcaster for Dismember. Right? For Colligan's command? Sure. In that case, I will allow you to do blocks and then kill one of these things, so that way, even though you bring back this something or other, it does not matter. We're going to bolt out the zombie. This way he can't Colligan's command me. I will still have a Tarmogoyf at the end of that Colligan's command. He may have bought himself like a turn. That's it. But all of the things that Colligan's command does is pretty bad. I mean, he could do the 2 damage to me at this point, I suppose. 2 damage, return Kaladas to his hand would be the best thing he could possibly do. But then what I end up having is still a Tarmogoyf that can kill his creature. He gains a little bit of life off of it, which kind of blows. But, you know, Siege Rhino can fix that or something. He still has Thought Seizes and whatnot in the deck, which aren't so super great. Like Lightning Bolt, not super great. Kolaghan's Command, pretty good because you can bring back your Kalidas. But at this point, I mean, you can't deal 2 damage to my Tarmogoyf and expect to pull it off. So yeah, that's what he ends up doing, just like I said. It's still the best move. He's still, I think, a little bit ahead in terms of tempo because he's just gaining more card advantage than I am. He didn't cast the Kalidas? That's a little fucking weird. What modes did he choose for the Kolaghan's Command? Oh, to get back the Snapcaster? To do maybe a... to do a Dismember instead is what he chose? I don't know if that's the correct move. Man. This battle's been going on for a long time. 4 minutes and 55 seconds. I didn't even realize that he was that far behind. Yeah, sure. Wish I didn't get a land. Kind of sucks. Might as well shrink what I can grab. Make less lands happen. Negate, huh? Okay. I wish that negate came a turn earlier. I could have used it. But if he tries to bolt me for like the last win, it's not gonna work. Young Pyromancer, sure. I mean, I got no reason not to. Might as well just pay for it. Negate it. Why the fuck not? Oh, hey, that's actually a card that can maybe dig me out of this hole that I'm in. That is, in fact, a card. It does, in fact, block a lot. And then flies over and kills you. Let's find out what happens. Here's a Sigarda. You can't kill it. If I draw a burn spell like a Tribal Flames or something, you are dead. That is true. You can have 1 damage go through. And if you drew a bolt, you can have that bolt. If you attack all out, you get like more damage, right? Technically. It's not like you can target her, so I don't mind. Stubborn Denial. That stops a bolt. It does, in fact, stop a bolt at this point. He's at 3 minutes, though. That's not a good place to be when you're playing Magic the Gathering online. You guys might want to decide not to do that. Terminate to my thing. I will go ahead and say no. About that, the answer is no. You can have a 1/1, but the answer is still no. See, he's sort of at this point, though, where he's like taken so long to decide various things that at this point, I don't necessarily need to win. I just need to not lose. I mean, sure. I can't do anything about that. I suppose you just attack, right? Sure, Tarmogoyf is a option. It's not like we win now. He had the absolutely best cards he possibly could to win this. So, I mean, I guess we lose. That's that. That's the end of that. That's that. Quickly, I want to at least play at least one more with Aquarium, because this is running really long. I'm just having fun. I don't care how many people are watching this. I'm just having fun playing Magic. But I would like to play first. Yes, I would. Absolutely. Would I like to keep this hand? Sure, it seems like a good hand. This is my aquarium list. I showed it in the beginning of the video, so you guys can always rewatch it and see the beginning of the video if you want. Let's go ahead and play this out. It's basically just a big zoo with Elspeth's Nether Reliquary Coral Helm combo. This is probably going to be that Eldrazi Flicker deck that exists. We're going to say yes, and we are also going to get ourselves... we don't really need red. Red is only for Lightning Bolt and for a Kessig Wolfrun. So we're going to go ahead and get ourselves a Temple card. And let's cast Pride Mage. At the worst, I can blow up that Ether Vial while attacking for 3 damage and finding more land on my Oath of Nissa. Oath of Nissa is way better in this deck than you'd think it would be. It helps with the mana smoothing, helps grab the Knight of the Reliquary that you need, as well as maybe getting Elspeth to jump. Like, it's just got a lot of uses. Path? Sure, I'll take the path. Use Path's ability? Yes, please. Grab a forest, so that way we can eat more with Scavenging Ooze. So we have some mana. Depends on how we want to use it. We want to hold the retreat. The retreat's doing nothing right now to us. So I likely want to cast my Oath of Nissa over the Noble Hierarch. I know it kind of sucks, but that'll help me find maybe a land. Oh, that's funny. I didn't know it like does something like that. And that'll help me get Elspeth too. So we're going to grab the Woodfoot Hills. And that means that we can now use the Woodfoot Hills to grab ourselves a Stomping Ground, and then kind of sucks because our life. We're going to cast that Noble Hierarch. We're also going to cast the Scavenging Ooze, meaning that we can now eat graveyards while putting out the Elspeth and just really mess with some stuff now. I think that's a pretty good, turn 2 play. I think that was a pretty good turn 2 play. Turn 3. I guess it was turn 3. Hey, how long have I been streaming for? Super Kition? I don't know how to pronounce your name. Sorry, I need time to pronounce names. I've been streaming for 2 hours and 30 minutes. I'm very far through my beer at this point. My streaming beer. Sure, what's coming in? An Arbiter? Arbiter? Scolo. Sure, that's fine. I don't care. That's going to take my Elspeth, but that's perfectly fine with me. Because I'm going to be attacking for 3 anyway, so he can't, block and kill off my Scavenging Ooze. Ni. Okay. I like it. I'm terrible at pronunciations, just ahead of time. If you guys ever seen my first lore videos, they're awful in terms of pronunciations go. but I do take time to learn them over time to become better. So, yep, been streaming for about 2 hours and 30 minutes just to have fun playing Zoo. It's also a big thing for the Zoo guys in the MTG lore threads, or MTG Zoo threads, just so they can know what's available to them, what I think currently the correct builds are. It's got nothing to do with lore, although occasionally I could tell you lore, like, about how this guy comes from Esper, and he's, like, the judge of, like, artifact death. I don't know. And Thalia, I just recently talked about Thalia in one of my videos. But it's definitely, I guess, let's see. Did I put out? I didn't put out a mana yet, right? So I could put out the Arid Mesa. I think my best bet is to put out the Coral Helm. And, yeah, I'm just going to put out the Coral Helm and then tap it down, at least one of those cards down. It's not like I need the extra mana, so I will tap down that guy. Girl. It's a girl. Probably Scry on the next turn. And at least attack for 3 damage. Yes, I would like to use it. If I can ever get that Elspeth back, I'm likely to win the game. One of the tricks here that he may not be like aware of is Retreat to Coral Helm can tap or untap, which means that I could actually untap my Ooze. And if he attacks with his Tide Hold, I can get my Elspeth back, which would basically win me the game. Yeah, thank you for the Zoo comment. Yeah, it's my passion, man. Aside from like story and lore. Oh, he's doing it. He doesn't know. Oh, it's happening. It's happening. I'm gonna go ahead and untap the crap out of that Ooze. Yes, please. I will go ahead and say no. I will untap my Ooze. I mean, he can flicker something at this point, which is perfectly fine if he wants to flicker something. Because it's going to give me back my Elspeth if he flickers it anyways, you know? All he does is save a creature. Although it takes the Elspeth away again, I suppose. But, like, if Ooze dies and so does, like, the Scholar, then I've got a 4/4 Ooze in my hand, technically. Let's see him flicker something. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Yeah, Flicker Wisp. So he's going to flicker it. He's going to take back... Well, no, he's going to flicker the Ooze. That's the correct move. Okay. Take it back. Maybe he knew about it. I get really excited when, like, I use stupid things that no one else uses, and I can go ahead and take advantage of it. So he's in there. You're in there for 4 damage, man, which is actually fairly a lot with my life total that I'm at right now. I guess I might as well eat your Path to Exile, right? I mean, the only downside is if I draw a Tarmogoyf. Anytime that someone starts on an Aether Vial, like in a Flicker deck, it's like, oh, fuck. Just every time. I like earlier was playing against... He's got more. He's got more. What is he flickering at this point? What do you flicker at this point? What, your Tidehold Scholar? What do you flicker? You're like your Ghost Quarter, and then you Ghost Quarter me? You flicker your Flicker Wisp to... Oh, you flicker your Flicker Wisp to flicker, like, another thing. There's too many flickers, alright? Ban all fucking flicker effects. We're done with this shit. Oh, no, he's flickering a land. To what, like, Path to Exile me? Maybe? I don't know. Here's what I do know, Dude Man Jones. I I'm going to put out the Qasali Pride Mage. You're going to give me back my fucking walker, alright? I'm tired of this bullshit. You're giving it to me back. I'm taking it. Taking my walker back. I'm gonna take my goddamn fucking walker back. Not gonna cast it right now, but you can't flicker anything, you asshole. Definitely feel like the Oath of Nisses. Yeah, the Oath of Nisses are good in this specific list. If I could fit it into the tribal zoo, I would. I don't know if I like it in like the big zoo normal nihilist. I haven't been able to really get it to work. But I'd like to. I'd like to get that to work. Then we're gonna eat your stupid Tide Hall. Okay? We're gonna eat it. And then I'm gonna eat your fucking other one. I'm gonna eat my creature here. Go up in life and say, alright, that's enough. I'm just gonna deal damage to you. Seems good. Oh shit, is that enough to kill me? Fuck, did I forget about that? I totally did. He's got lethal on the board. How much did I drink? Enough that that's gonna kill me. I should have casted my last Scavenger Ooze to at least block something. So I didn't. That's my fault. Thought-Knot Seer! You dickhead. Don't just cast Thought... That deck is banned! The funny thing is he doesn't have enough mana to actually kill me with Shambling Vents, so that's perfectly fine. I'm totally dead onto the next attack, though. I don't think there's any coming back from this. Nether Reliquary, do you help me come back from this? I don't think you do. I think I get damaged with flying in the air, and that's the end of that. Yep, we're done. We're done here. We're done here. What beer am I drinking? I'm drinking once again, the lovely Pumpkin Southern Tier Stout, which is my favorite beer of all time. Obviously, I like pumpkins. But it is actually the best pumpkin beer I've ever had. It's actually pretty cheap. It's like $9 for like a 20-ouncer. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, guys. If you ever needed a good beer, that's a good beer. All right, so this is like the white-black version of the Eldrazi list, and it is got a lot of good flicker effects. I actually really like Death and Taxes. If I was going to invest in like a third or fourth deck, it would be Death and Taxes. But its weakness is if you just like out aggro it, or like removal spell it, which I just don't have a lot of removal spells in this version, which kind of sucks. But that's what you do for trying to like fit in your retreat to Coral Helm. It's also going to have a lot of blockers, so these Geist of St. Traft's not super great. So I think you actually take out the Geists in this situation. You don't want to take out any of the removal because all the removal is good. You just want to make sure you don't use the removal stupidly. And the Retreat to Coral Helm, I think, is fine because if you combo out, they can't really deal with it, so you still win. Like at worst, I guess they could flicker your knight, which would totally suck, but you still end up with a giant knight. So I don't know. Maybe take out a Birds of Paradise. Call it a day. Why is it not letting me submit that deck? Did he like quit? Why is it like making me use a 61 card deck? Bug! It's a bug! Because this is a 61 card deck. Oh no, because he doesn't want fit 16 cards in the sideboard. That's why. That's fine. I left a 61 card deck because I wanted an extra Elspeth, and I don't mind doing 61 card decks, unlike some people. 61's my limit, though. Looks like terrible. Snap mulligan, that shit. Yeah, I'll keep this. No, we'll put that on the bottom. We definitely don't necessarily need more land. We need more action. So let's go Oath of Nissa, and then grab ourselves something good, like a Nether Reliquary. Alright, I guess we grab ourselves a Scavenge Ooze. That was what was presented to us. The Oath absolutely seems right in 4 to 5 color lists. I can't seem to get it to where... Hello, Knight of the Reliquary. I missed you. You are a good friend of mine. I can't seem to get it to work as well in the 3 color lists. It's powerful, but like I can feel the powerful in game 1, but then game 2, game 3, it's kind of like just not as good. But like especially when like the planeswalker and the land effects start becoming like very important. Shit. Well, not the worst. The best thing he could do is get rid of my Knight of the Reliquary, because if he gets rid of my Knight, I can't kill it because I don't have red mana. Although if I draw a red mana, then I'm back to, perfectly fine. He takes the Lightning Bolt. Does he not know that there's a combination with this? That there's a combo win? That I can win just like by attacking? Does he not know? Oh, Tarmogoyf. We'll just swing. Is he not aware? If he wants to block, I'm perfectly fine with that trade. If he doesn't want to block, I'm perfectly fine with that too, because that means that I can win with the my Knight of the Reliquary combo. The only way he's winning now at this point is a Path to Exile. So all I gotta do is he doesn't win if I have Wasteland Straggler. There's one card in exile right now, right? And that card is the Tide Hollow of the thing, which gives negative. I guess I played into that, sure. I was going for the win anyways, so that's fine. At least I can eat it. And it still buffs my Tarmogoyf, so not the worst plays in the world. It's a pretty cute combo, man. Kind of sucks, but I will deal with it. I guess I just attack here, and if he decides he wants to block, that's perfectly fine with me. I won't even do anything. Like, if he wants to block with this Tide Hollow Scholar, I'm okay with that, because it just buffs my Tarmogoyf. Which at this point I can then block his Wasteland Straggler at any point in time. The most he can do is flicker it, and if he flickers it, he's not going to get the effect off of it, and the effect doesn't do anything even if he had anything. So, not the best. This deck is really dependent on getting, at least from what I've seen, getting that like Ether Vial out. If they don't have the Ether Vial to like speed out their like flicker enablers, it's not the best deck in the world. Sure. Well, that sucks. That sucks. You should Ghost Quarter me for good measure, too, off of green. I guess he's going to Ghost Quarter me off of, like, good measure, yeah. Alright, not winning this game. Just going to go ahead and concede just to save time, because I've been doing this for a while, and I don't need to. Death and Taxes is pretty good. I didn't lose any of the like 3 other times I've played it so far, but it seems like a pretty fine thing to play right now. I'm trying to think if it's like awful against anything. It's definitely weak against like wipe spells, which I do have, just not in my not in the aquarium list, but like in pretty much everything else. Like for example, the Gruul list. I don't have any wipe spells, but I've got enough just to outspeed it. The big zoo list, I've got like I guess I don't have anything there either, but I do have a bunch of removal spells. It's not like I don't. I've got like 4/4 plus like Valorant Stance and stuff in the sideboard. And then the Tribal Zoo, I definitely do. I've got 2 Bonfire of the Damned ready for it. Or Explosive Engineers. I didn't have explosive... I didn't have explosions right away, so couldn't do it. Guy, for some reason, isn't really... Okay. Sometimes there's weird bugs like that. I'm gonna go ahead and just host an event then. What do I consider the best zoo archetype yet? I was actually wondering... I was gonna wait till after stream to talk about that just because I don't know. I actually really don't like Gruul Zoo. Every time I seem to play it, I seem to think that, like, the deck is not very good. It, like, just runs into walls and then dies. That's something I don't like in my deck. Personally, as a player, that is. But the speed is definitely undeniable. Like, if you're getting attacked at all different angles, the best option of attack for you as a aggro player is speed. Not toolboxing, speed. Because... no matter what, you have a reliable race option. Tribal actually seems pretty good as long as you're not running into a ton of aggro decks. If you are running into a crap ton of aggro decks, then Tribal is not good at all. If you are running into a other than that, I don't know. I don't really like the Aquarium Zoo either. I just don't think it has a lot of stuff to offer. I think Naya Big Zoo is your best option right now, but that's just me. I might be totally wrong. I just think you get the best sideboard, you the best game one, the best of all sort of matches you can possibly consider. This is a keepable hand. We've got to sort of go basic, and then if we just get blue, we'll get blue. Just because I'd rather have the Lightning Bolt up than the Retreat to Coralhelm. Yeah, overall, I think your best bet is just Naya Big Zoo with the Planeswalkers are probably your best option. Cool, that's definitely a good game, good turn 1 play here for me. Oath of Nissa way better in 4-color zoos, 5-color zoos. I definitely probably wouldn't play Aquarium without Oath of Nissa. Specifically because Oath of Nissa does everything you want to do in Aquarium, which is find, like, Knight of the Reliquary to finish out your Retreat to Coralhelm, and whatnot. Yeah, I might be swinging back to Collected Company. I wanted to try out Arlen. I honestly, that's the main reason. Cool, Knight of the Reliquary. We'll take it. The question is whether or not I wanted to take this either, but I'd actually rather have Knight of the Reliquary and just have a combo finished at any point in time to pull out, especially since I still have enough like turn 2 plays stretched across my hand. I might switch back to Collected Company Zoo, to be honest with you, but right now I really want to test Domri, I really want to test Arlen, just because I like red-green cards. It's really got more to do with that than anything else. Thoughtseize. Poo. I'm going to guess that I'm going to lose my Knight of the Reliquary here, but if he's not smart and doesn't know that there's a combo between those two, I'll lose the Tarmogoyf. Or if he thinks like, oh, he'll probably not get another land, then I'll lose the Tarmogoyf. Overall, if I was him, I would take Collect. That is the worst card to take. Dude, that card is not nearly as good without a Knight of the Reliquary in existence. Definitely wouldn't take that card. I guess you're that scared of the combo that you're going to go ahead and take it. Seems perfectly fine by me. I've got no reason to run into a Knight of the Reliquary at this point, so I can definitely take the turn 3 off and feel fine about it. This is one of those times that I wish I had like I didn't even show that I had blue mana. But okay. Yeah, that's true, man. Sometimes, like, if you were a Twin player, you would know that Sometimes just having the mere presence of a combo in your deck is enough to make people misplay. Totally true. If I was a smart dude, I would have taken the Knight of the Reliquary. I would have been like, nope, you can't have the combo through Knight of the Reliquary. Also, Knight of the Reliquary is your best card in your deck. Just get rid of it. Especially with a Tarmogoyf out there. Like, now I can start attacking into him. Whether he's a tokens. I'm assuming he's tokens if he's got Isolated Chapel. But, yeah, I don't know. I think Arlen's really good. I think Domri actually is pretty good right now. Tokens deck. I would go in that vein, I think, if I wanted to go in a big zoo deck, especially because I want to play things like Qasali Pride Mage and Voice of Resurgence. They all sound like great cards to me. Cool. So we're going to go ahead and put the Stirring Wildwood out there. The question is, do I want to attack for 3 damage and nothing else, or do I want to attack for 4 damage and not have my Tarmogoyf being played? I probably want to commit more to the board, to be honest with you. So we're just going to attack. Again, without the Retreat to Coralhelm, I'm in no rush to put out a 3/3 Knight of the Reliquary. A 4/4 Knight of the Reliquary, maybe. Maybe. One of the things I like about Retreat to Coralhelm is how light on the blue you can actually play with the aquarium list. Like, you could use Snapcasters if you really want to, but you don't have to. I do think that Bant is probably better for the combo. But if you were looking for just a more proactive game than the than going for the zoo with the Bant, Retreat to Coralhelm is probably your better bet. Cool, lightning bolts. I like lightning bolts. Who doesn't like lightning bolts? Let's just go attack and see how he does with how he blocks. If he doesn't block, I don't know, I might lightning bolt him. If he double blocks, probably just gonna lightning bolt him. You knew I had a lightning bolt in hand. You knew it. You knew it. Why would you block like that? I am like really into my beer right now, and even I know that was a bad decision on your end of things. Because now I'm just going to hit for 1 damage more, and I'm going to kill all your tokens. So, sounds great. Love it. Gonna do it. See you later. Yes, I don't cast Knight of the Reliquary. Do I mind? Not all that much. I'd rather you be at 10 than me cast Knight of the Reliquary. I can cast Knight of the Reliquary next turn. I don't mind. That guy's getting pathed. I don't know. You know I have these cards in hand. You know it. I told you I did. By I told you I did, you inquisitioned me. You should screen cap some stuff, man. And I win. Guys, aquarium, that's the way to win, guys. If you didn't know. All right. Dude, he didn't even let me cast he didn't even let me cast it. All right, so we're going to bring in the Thalia. We're going to bring in not Stony Silence. We're going to bring in the other Thalia. We're going to bring in, I guess, Stubborn Denials and stuff, because that's actually pretty all right here. What are we going to take out? Probably the Elspeths. The Elspeths don't do much in this matchup, especially because you can just block with Lingering Souls. The Qasali Pride Mages are an option. I guess since he's got, again, tokens to block with, the Geist is not super great. The combo is still just winning. It still wins. So we take out a Path to Exile, probably. Oh, that's right. I gotta have 61 cards in the deck because I built it that way. What do I bring in? Shit. I don't know. I guess we bring in the Path because we know he does have things like Brimaz. You know? He does have Brimaz. That's kind of annoying. Yeah, we'll take this. It's got a lot of mana. Turns out you can use mana in Zoo. In sort of like this kind of Zoo deck, you know? He's going to mulligan down to 6. Seems fine with me. I think we start with Noble Hierarch and then speed out the Wild Nacatl and the Tarmogoyf. He's got red in his deck. Dude, what is up with all these decks that I don't... Okay, fuck it. We're just going to go straight into the Knight of the Reliquary. Fuck what I was saying before. It's not what's happening. Probably should have used that, but whatever. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, guys. We're still okay. I'm going to cast the Noble Hierarch. Cast that Noble Hierarch. Here's where we just draw a fetch land, and then we just draw a retreat to Coral Helm, and we just win the game. I don't think right now you need to sort of necessarily mess up your game, your consistency for retreat to Coral Helm right now. If I felt like the meta was like in this area where it's just like all was hopeless and absolutely needed to... Oh my god, we're doing it. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If I absolutely knew that we needed to do something like that, then I would say it. I'd be like, yeah, you got to use retreat to Coral Helm because fuck it. Who knows if you're going to win. Let's see. Theoretically, if he doesn't have a Path to Exile, this combo will go off and we'll have like a shit ton of mana and we'll have a shit ton of attack. And then we can Kessig Wolf Run for a shit ton of damage. All in all, it equals out to about a shit ton. If you didn't know how much a shit ton was worth, it's worth a shit ton. So let's see. He might have a Path to Exile. If we draw a fetch land, it doesn't even matter if he's got a Path to Exile. I mean, you can cast the Path to Exile, I suppose... No, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. If he's on our turn and he casts a Path to Exile, he's going to lose the game. If we crawl fetch land, that is. So, let's see. If he casts a Bramaz, he's dead. He's just dead. He's taking damage for that mana base. It means he's got a plan. Inquisition of Kozilek. No. Goodbye, combo. No. Oh, anyways, we can maybe draw another combo right then and there. Hey, man, you should discard Birds of Paradise. Birds of Paradise is pretty crappy. Yeah, I'm gonna stream probably once a week, maybe twice, maybe every other week. To be honest with you, it's basically when I've got free time. But now that I've finished out my contract and I've got free time, absolutely have no reason not to stream. I might do a question and answer session on my next stream. Who knows? Again, this would be a time to plug the channel. If you guys want to see more lore-based videos and learn about the story that is the Magic the Gathering story, by all means... Oh, Lightning Helix. God damn it, man. God damn it. Stop undoing my combo. By all means, subscribe. And if you guys want to see more zoo videos, you can also subscribe when I do the stream. Thanks for coming out, though, man. I really do appreciate it. I mean, we take 2 damage, though. Not the worst, but he's down to 2 cards in hand, so... Who knows? If we draw a land, we're still in a pretty good situation. If we don't, we're still in a pretty good situation. Nope, we're still in a pretty good situation. Let's bolt that Young Pyromancer. Let's say it's goodbye to it. I don't want to have to deal with that anymore. And I guess I'll cast the Tarmogoyf and the Wild Nacatl. That seems like a doable plan. And we'll get white, so that way our Wild Nacatl is still worth mentioning. It's like still bad already. It's not like just worse than a Curd Ape. And we will switch back to being like very obviously ahead. With our 5/6 Tarmogoyf. Jesus, that's fucking ridiculous. That is ridiculous right there. The 5/6 Tarmogoyf, that's ridiculous. 5/6 Tarmogoyf, not normal in just normal zoos. It's normally 3/4. But hey, man, when you've got enchantments and people casting sorceries to get rid of said enchantments. You're doing pretty good. You're doing pretty good. Alright, so you've got some blockers now, man. Good for you. Even all 4 of your blockers, not stopping that Tarmogoyf, though. Could stop a Wild Nicotl. That's for damn sure. Could. But let's attack with said Tarmogoyf. You can stall me for a while, I guess. That's fine. But without, like, vigilance, those tokens, not the best. Not the best tokens I've ever seen. Okay, what are you trying to do here with double blocks? I wouldn't double block. Seems good. I'm just gonna attack. I should attack with my Birds of Paradise. Just to prove a point that I'm not afraid of you. Bird of Paradise coming in 0-1. Not gonna do any damage because I'm gonna attack with everything else as well. It's gonna go Caw! And then it's gonna like immediately die. But it's gonna send a message home to you. I don't care if you cast Bramaz right now. What are you doing? What do you think you're doing over here with your 4 mana? Don't tap it all. Are you the Wrath of God? Okay, you Wrath of God me. There's the Wrath of God that was played right there. Sure, fuck it, it's gone. All my creatures are gone. All my friends are dead. There's a book called that. It's pretty good. All my friends are dead. At the end of the day, I still have a 3/3 Nicotl. And a Path to Exile that's not going to be very relevant whatsoever against tokens. But I do have a Path to Exile. I do have that. And a good looking one. Look at that one. By Rebecca Quay? Are you kidding me? On art points alone, I should win this game. On art points alone, I should win this game. Look at how pretty that is. Rebecca Quay, I want to have her babies. I want to have her babies. It's so good. That's fine. You can cast that thing. It's going away. It's not sticking around. God, I wish I had priority. I wish I had priority. See you later. Go away, young pyromancer. You can have a land. I don't care. Just stop. Just stop. I don't want you around. I don't like young pyromancer. If you guys didn't know, lore-wise, young pyromancer is all about Chandra. I don't know if you knew this. Look at that locket. It's got a picture of Chandra in it. That's right. It does. See, I'm bringing lore back into modern. That's what I'm trying to do here. Here I'm assuming you're just going to block and kill my creature. But that's okay. Neither Valkyrie's gigantic. And gets Keswick Wolfrun. So it's okay with me. First Blood. Not really. You deal damage to me. There you go. It's a 4/4 now. Now you can't Lightning Helix it. Don't be a little dick and Lightning Helix it. Somehow get rid of one of my land, then Lightning Helix it. Terminate? Jesus Christ, stop doing stupid shit like that. Just play Jund. Alright, you're in there for 3 damage. I don't care. 2 damage, sure, whatever. Seems great. Love it. Go for it. Lightning Bolt. Fantastic. Not going to use it. Not super relevant right now. Go ahead and block. There you go. 3/3 swinging at you. Go ahead and block. It's all yours. Take it. There's the 3 damage. Let's see what you got. You got some 1/1s. I don't really care about the 1/1s currently. Concurrently, I don't care about the 1/1s. I care about more like more young pyromancer enablers or something. Hero of Bladehold. Dude, you need to stop what you're doing. You need to stop all these things that you're doing with your attacking. You're in there. Dude, you are so in there. You got it. You got it. You are going to win this game off of the back of some really janky cards. That's going to happen. That's just going to happen. I'm going to go ahead and offer a trade of your hero to my wild Nicodle. It's not going to happen. You're just going to block here if you're a smart person. But if you're not a smart person, you block there, I will trade. You're just going to take the damage. Okay, we're going to lose this game. This is a stupid game. I'm not going to keep playing it. That's the aquarium list in a nutshell. Not super great. I guess he let us win, so that's fine. Let's go ahead and play tribal. Let's get one more tribal game in there, and then we're going to have a fun game using Belcher. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I've decided. Because soon, like, Belcher playing when you've got lots of alcohol in you is one of the funniest things you possibly can do. And so I think it's a good way to end the stream. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. This requires a lot of thought, so it'll be kind of funny to watch me just, like, utterly fail. We have 4 mana and a Siege Rhino. I'll take it. Sure, why not? Seems great. Can't Holy Day my Siege Rhino. Wow. You're gonna Grataxium Probe me? Okay. Holy Day. It's not Holy Day. It's Angelic something or other. I'm assuming, based off of this, that he is... I don't know. Maybe he's Storm. Maybe that's Dak Faden over here. He's like, yeah, I like red, blue. He's probably Storm. That was a terrible draw. But whatever. You know, who cares? Let's go for it. Stomping Ground. Seems great. Yes, we want to pay for it. And we want to pay a Wild Nicodle. And then we're gonna just go ahead and say, yeah, man, you've got it from here. You know what you're doing. This guy, probably going to get a Hollowed Fountain. Not a Hollowed Fountain, a Godless Shrine. Let's see what happens. You've got 2 mana. What are you going to do with it, man? You thinking about something now? Okay, we've got a Lightning Bolt. That's something we have. It's probably going to get a Temple Garden now. Because I want to cast my Wild Nicodle. See? I've got things planned out. I know what I'm doing. Obviously, I don't. Temple Garden, is that in my hand? It is totally in my hand. Thank you! Here I'm trying to explain how I've got things just, like, planned out. And I don't. Turns out I do not have things planned out. Let's go with the original plan. Go with the Godless Shrine. There you go. I'm attacking. Attacking for 3. Gonna scratch you. Kitty scratch. Getting Lightning Bolt. Seems fine. Casting another Wild Nicodle. You thought it was over. You thought your kitty dreams were over, but they weren't. They're actually kitty nightmares, and they're coming down right now. What are you gonna do about it, man? What are you gonna do about it? Probably cast another Lightning Bolt. That's probably what's gonna happen. See, yeah, because I'm the best Zoo player in the world. Obviously, I've been playing Zoo for years. You're gonna Vapor Snag? Ah, oh, dick. Only assholes Vapor Snag. I'm just trying to be the voice of all aggro players right now. Don't be a dick and Vapor Snag me. Alright. We need to grab something that has blue in it. And something that has green in it. Which sounds like a breeding pool to me. If anyone ever said anything. Let's cast that Qasali Primage. That Qasali Primage... Not Qasali Primage, it's a Wild Nicodle. Is getting cast and about to be mana leaked. It's about to be remanded. Seems fine. Because you know what? It's getting cast again. And I want to see you remand it again. Go ahead. See what happens. Whatever. I'm at 12 life. I did that to myself. I know I did it. That ruin. Did anyone else see that ruin Chanter's Pike being like my Kosali Pride or my Wild the Coddle for a grand total of 2 seconds? Because it was. We're gonna attack. I don't have. You know I have mana. You saw it with a Crataxian Probe. I don't know what I'm trying to pretend I'm doing here. But I'm attacking. Go ahead, bolt it. Bolt it. See what happens when I Siege Rhino you. Alright, you're not going to let me Siege Rhino you. That's fine. Whatever. I don't need to Siege Rhino you. I'm going to go ahead and grab a forest instead. How do you feel about that? Yeah, look at that. Look at that. I'm going to go ahead and Geist the St. Traft you instead. Counter it. I dare you. I dare you. I got a bolt for whatever you're going to put out next turn. I don't care. That's what I'm doing. Mana Leak. Your Chu-Man Fu Mana Leak. Seems fine. Not paying for that Mana Leak. It is dead. It is a dead ghost. You have Ghostbustered my ghost. I want to put out a lore video on Geist of St. Traft. He does actually have a backstory, turns out. Most people don't know about it. But he does. He does. Alright, man. Your Snapcaster Mage, totally out there. Are you going to just try to attach a Ruin Chanter's Pike to it? Without realizing that I left open a red? And I've had this bolt for my hand for a few turns. I don't know if you know I have a bolt in my hand. Yeah, go for it. It's dead. I guess I might as well bolt your Snapcaster Mage, right? Might as well get rid of that thing. Don't dispel it. Don't be a dick. Come on, man. Trying to do my best over here. You're hindering me. I planned long term wrong. I should have put the Temple Garden out way long ago, but I apparently didn't because I'm an idiot. So yeah, I'd like to pay 2 life. I'm going to gain some of it back at least. Pretend like I've got a bolt. Be like, haha, I've got a bolt. Siege Rhino. It's amazing how the Siege Rhino just like evens out the games that weren't normally even. Now it does. If he Goblin Guides into Ruin Chanter Pikes, I'd be pretty mad. Or Storm Chases. I don't know why you wouldn't detach that at least. At least attach that, right? We're attacking. We're going in. We're going in deep. Vapor Snag? That's fine. Totally don't mind you Vapor Snagging that thing. I will lose 1 life to drain you some life. Seems peachy. Seems peachy. Don't spell snare me. Don't be a dick. Don't spell snare me. Sick deck. Damn straight it is a sick deck. You've attached the pike. That pike, that is a strong wall right there, my friends. That wall, can't touch it. Well, everybody, this seems like the end. Can we do 5 plus 3 damage, which happens to be 8? Yes, we can. So we're just going to go ahead and attack. Seems fine. Kill my Rhino. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do this now, and I want you to counterspell it. And if you don't counterspell it, well, that was your decision, man. Go ahead, counterspell it. I want you to counterspell it. There's a reason. By the way, I got a lot of respect for you using those islands. Those islands are super sick. No. If you have another spell pierce, I'm gonna be okay with it. I could pay for it, but I'm not gonna pay for it. What? Swan Song? You're countering it twice? I didn't pay for it. I didn't pay for it, man! Oh, you counterspelled your counterspell? Okay. That was a limb. You definitely did go out on a limb. You definitely went out on a limb, my friend. Okay. Blue deck. We beat a blue deck. Cool. What else do we want to bring in? It was just blue-red, right? It wasn't like white at all. So we want to bring in Abrupt Decay because that'll kill those things in ice. Even nowadays, when it flips, it'll still kill that thing in ice. The Sigarda is pretty sweet here, I'd say. The Negates and the Stubborn Niles are probably pretty good. Other than that, I'd probably leave it at that. I'll take out the Lightning Helixes because they don't do a ton here, especially against the things in ice. Said things that are also in ice. And I'll probably take out the Lightning Bolts too, because they are also not doing a ton against the things that are in ice. So, we'll submit that deck. We'll call it a day. 3 hours and 11 minutes is how long the stream's been going. If any of you guys have been here like since the beginning, congratulations. You have been really sticking around for this. I am mostly doing this for my my zoo crew on the MTG Salvation, just to have a couple different versions of the deck go out. Just thinking point blank, if I was going to play a deck, I think the Walker heavy version of the Big Zoo is your best bet, because you've got a combination of Jund, combination of like control decks existing right now, blue decks that are existing right now, and I think those are your best bets. Yeah, this is fine, keepable. We theoretically could have a turn 3 Tassiger, which is not that bad. I don't run any Night of the Reliquaries in this list, so I don't mind killing like my fetch lands. Said congratulations to everyone who's been sticking around. That one dude was like, I'm leaving. I went from 5 to 4. But I do appreciate anyone who's dropping by. Again, if you want some like lore videos, some very cool lore videos, by all means subscribe and you will see what I have to say about lores, which I have a lot to say about lore. I really love Magic the Gathering lore. Probably want to go with white. I have more white cards in hands than red. So, yes, we want to lose life. This deck loses a lot of life over time. I hope my audio is fine. I'm sort of mumbling a little bit, I'm aware. Gotta get better at that. But I am using a very like high-end microphone. Whew. That's a snag. You have, by all means, snagged my Noble Hierarch. You didn't take a one-hand land, did you? One land hand, did you? Probing me feels like you took a one-hand land. One-hand land. I always say that, and it's wrong every time I say it. A one-land hand. To rhyme, all right, man? Let's see. Kind of. What do you got? What do you got? Got a turn 2? Got a turn 2 land? Writing down the cards that I have. Screenshotting it. Okay. Either way, okay with me. I'm probably going to enter in a modern event sometime soonish. Okay, you do have a land. Sometime soonish. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe another day. I don't know. Not sure. Using what I've learned from these decks as to which one's the best one. Right now, I'm either leaning towards Tribal Zoo or Big Zoo with the Planeswalkers. Those are my two options that I would lean towards. We're going to just play the Noble Hierarch here. I think that's our best bet. Put more fetch lands in the graveyard. And I can still get like a Godless Shrine off of this and not feel too bad. Otherwise, a Breeding Pool probably is the best bet, and I got a Godless Shrine off of this. But I'll get a Godless Shrine for my Path to Exile if I need it. Like if he puts down a Thing of Ice, that's what I would do. Although I could Abrupt Decay the Thing of Ice and not give him lands. That's also an option. I have a lot of options here. That's one of the good things about playing like a Domain Zoo. But I would have to play it on my turn, which would mean that I'd have 1, 2, 3 cards in the graveyard at the time, which would reduce that to about a 2 and a black. Plus I would have to spend 2 mana. Another fetch land would reduce that to 1 and a black, and then I'd have 2 mana to actually cast it, so I'd be using the completion of my mana. Probably the better bet if he casts a Thing in Ice. Yeah, that's probably the best bet. If he does like way more than that, then I might have to consider on the Path to Exile plan. But that's the best way to use the mana at this point. Let's see here. Snapcaster Mage for what? A Vapor Snag? Sure, Vapor Snag is in there. It's delaying me, but you're not doing a ton to me. I'm definitely going to win the long game if you keep this up. I could just cast Tasigur and not worry about the Noble Hierarch. I'm trying to think of what's the best bet here. I could Abrupt Decay, or I could Tribal Flames if I'm doing 2 things at once. Tasigur would cost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that's the best way to use my mana, and it puts out something that like is very threatening. And it lets me have the most options as far as like what happens next. I think that's probably the best bet. Next turn I could still cast my Geist followed by a Noble Hierarch. I can still kill off Abrupt Decays. Sure, you probably got a Bolt, and I don't really care all that much. Especially since I can Abrupt Decay or Path or Tribal Flames any of the things you do. It's not that big of a deal to me. Let's see. Anger the Gods, sure. Lightning Bolt, sure. So that's what you're going to do? Alright, that's fine. You took care of your own stuff, so I didn't need to worry too much about it. My life total does matter enough now that I'm willing to just go Noble Hierarch and then my Geist, or my Tarmogoyf. Just pass the turn. Got way more cards in hand than he does. Cool. Let's just attack. If he like pops it back into my hand, that's no real big deal to me. We've probably got this game now down pat, I'd assume. So I could do 5 damage to him. I can also do 5 damage to him and also cast the and also cast the Geist of Saint Draft. I think that's probably what we want to do. I'd rather offer him the counterspell for my Geist, especially since I have a second Geist in hand. Sure. By all means, remand it. And I will offer 5 damage to you. Nope. I don't have it, but that's okay. Still, the difference is you have less cards in hand than I do. I have more cards than you do. I can repeat the same exact turn again. It's not looking good for you, Mr. Red-Blue player. Let's try for the lethal. Cool. We win it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Alright, I think we've done a pretty good job at doing all the zoo. But real quick, let's just go over what those decks look like. At any point in time, if you're watching this in repeat, you can pause the video. So make sure you can get what I've got. I do think that these are the best options that you have if you're running these different versions of zoo. So this was the tribal zoo. Again, here it is. You can pause it. I'm not gonna like take too much time on it. If you were using a bigger zoo, just Naya colors, I would use it like this. Let's sort this by mana cost too. This is what I would suggest using. I think these are the best options. I would like to fit Oath of Nissa in here, but there's really nothing that you could really cut. Maybe like a Voice of Resurgence and a Birds of Paradise. But I think this is pretty solid. Maybe you'd cut maybe a Qasali Pride Mage, a Voice, and a Domri to fit in the more Oath of Nissas. That might be something I'm testing later. Something worth mentioning. If you were doing Gruul Zoo, just straight up Gruul Zoo, I would use this is my best bet of what I would suggest to use. I don't think Gruul Zoo is the best for the meta. I think it's pretty good right now because the meta just doesn't know what it wants to be. But this is what I would use. If I wanted to join the modern zoo crew and I didn't have any money, I'd play this because this is less than $100. You could probably get it out of various people's bulk rares as well. It's good enough that you can just speed along and just hopefully win the game. And you could probably play it at your Friday Night Magic. If I was going to play an aquarium list, otherwise known as a blue zoo list, probably play this. It kind of offers you the best sideboard you could possibly have in Modern for zoo, but it gives you some inconsistency in the deck. And I don't think that going for Retreat to Coral Helm is the best possible answer right now that you can do. Overall, if I had to pick, I'd pick either between the Tribal Zoo. If you don't have a lot of aggro, I wouldn't be playing the Tribal Zoo. Or if you don't have a lot of aggro in your meta, I'd be playing the Tribal Zoo. If you do have it, I just think the normal big zoo is your best bet with the walkers. To end it, because I always like to end on a funny note, I'm going to play Belcher. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this deck, but it's a pretty funny deck that just uses like lots of... It's only got 7 lands in the entire thing and wins off of Goblin Charbelcher. It's the deck that I like to play on the side as a troll deck. You eventually need to get like transverse the Uberwold to replace a couple things like I don't know, like Lay of the Land in this deck. So let's play Belcher just to end it. See if we can catch someone just unawares and just play Belcher. Belcher is also my deck of choice to play when I'm like very intoxicated. All right, here we go. Let's do this. Let's do this Belcher game. Let's play the worst deck possible, which is in fact Belcher. But if you don't know what it's doing, it has a very good chance of just destroying you. Yeah. You might think, there's no land in that hand, Lantern. Why are you keeping that? Well, there is technically land in my hand, so I will play it. We are going to go ahead and safe right quest right away. We're going to pay a green for it. That's how you play this deck. We're going to get ourselves a green mana. We're then going to put that mana into play. We're going to cast ourselves an Arbor Elf, and then we're going to go so far as to even cast another Arbor Elf here. Look at that. Turn 1, 3 mana. How are you guys liking it? How do you guys like it? Oh, look at you with your search for tomorrow. You think you're as good as me? You're not as good as me. Go ahead and untap that land. Look at that. Vine Creeper. Boom. We are going to get ourselves a... We're going to get ourselves a forest. Yeah, we're just going to get ourselves another forest. Play that forest. Look at that. We got 2 mana. What are we going to do with this 2 mana? We're going to play Lay of the Land. We're going to get even more. We're going to get ourselves an island. And we're even going to attack for 1 damage. Who knew you could do so much in one deck? Alright, so we got 3, 4, 5 mana next turn. And nothing in our hand can do anything with that. Alright, that was probably the worst card to draw. Let's just attack for 2. Seems great. Alright, how much mana do we have next turn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not nearly enough. But hey, why not? When he angers the gods me, I'll feel, you know, like slightly less terrible. Let's go ahead. You got Anger of the Gods on me? No, you don't have Anger of the Gods. You're not Anger of the Godsing me. Who knew? I don't think, by the way, just red-green is the best way to go escape shift. I think it's pretty bad. But that's you know, that's just me. What do I know? I'm playing Belcher. I'm playing Belcher in Modern. Let's be more specific. You could do wrong. You could do more wrong. The funny thing is, if I just like draw Belcher next turn, I win the game. I just don't straight up lose the game. I could block a Titan next turn and still live off of it. Let's see. Land. It's a lot of mountains, man. I don't know if I like that. That's a lot of mountains at the end of my upkeep, or my end of my turn. I guess you're holding that so that way when you cast Primeval Titan, you get two Valakutes. I just straight up lose. Yeah, go for it, man. You got it. You got it. I did nothing. I did not have a Belcher this game. Therefore, I will not win. If you decide to throw that at my face and not like, oh man, you made a mistake. You made a mistake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7. That's 7 mana. That is in fact 7 mana. I guess, you know, I still lose, right? I actually still might be able to win. Pay 1? I had enough mana. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have enough mana. What are you talking about, pay 1? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 mana. What are you talking about? I had enough mana. Oh my god, it won't let me undo because I like clicked a land once or twice or something. That's stupid. Concede game. That's dumb. That's dumb that I lost like that out of all things. That's fucking stupid. Alright, we're gonna bring in Witchbane Orb. We're gonna bring in Torpor Orb. Those all sound like fine things to bring in. We're gonna take out, what, like a Recross the Path? A Recross the Path? Yep. Sounds great. Let's do it. Sounds good. Why not? Sure. Why not? I could have at least blocked, you know? At least blocked. Or at least redirected all the damage to him and then still not died and maybe lived 2 to 3 turns because he doesn't exactly know what I'm doing. But that's fine. Whatever. MTGO screwed me, so we're just going to take it. Keep that. Sure. Sounds fine. Let's play Arbor Elf. He'll let me play things next turn. At least got a lay of the land, so it's not the worst even if he bolts it. I'm not, like, upset about it. Sure. Bolt. You did it, man. You got it. Congratulations. We'll save right quest next. And we're going to take a forest off of that. We're going to play said forest. We're going to go ahead and this. And that's going to be that. That'll be that. Oh man, it's Sean on the chat. He does like the way I get screwed. Sean is a cool guy, one of my former bosses. From the job that I'm no longer a part of, so that's why I'm drinking this beer, Sean. Alright, let's see what we got here. We can make him ditch a card. That's not really worth mentioning. Not like he's playing any cards out of his graveyards. Let's lay of the land into a forest. Then all I gotta do is win one. Just win one of these stupid games and I'll be happy with it. Grab it, the island, and sure, you can exile a card. Why not? Let's see. Go ahead. You can cast that stuff. Do impressive things. You're probably better than I am. Whoa, 2 omens. That's a lot of omens right there, my friend. That is a crap ton of omens. So one of the cool things with Recross the Path in this deck is I can rearrange my library, so I'm going to hold on to that one. Cast this, grab our forest, throw the forest out into play, cast the vigil, grab another forest, cast the lay of the land, grab a forest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's all of our lands in the deck. So I'm gonna go ahead and I guess I'll just exile a card out of his hand for now. Exile a card out of his graveyard. Call it a day. And then next turn, recross the paths into a win if he doesn't just straight up win at this point. He's got enough mana that if he's got like Primeval Titan, he just kind of wins. He's tapping 2 mana, 3, 4. That's probably Primeval Titan at this point. That's a lot of mana. It's Primeval Titan mana. I think I lose, right? I don't know why he didn't grab like 2 Valakut since they're mountains technically. Oh, Belcher, we have a win on our hands if we can survive a single turn. We have a win on our hands. All we need to do is win. We just need to survive a single turn. And that's it. I guess I don't even cast the Goblin Charbelcher yet, right? Because we gotta just technically win. We gotta technically just not die next turn. So why not show? Why show him that? Why show him that we have the win in our hand if he does not kill us next turn? I mean, if he attacks and he gets 2 Valakuts, then that means we take, like, what, 9 damage? Oh, we got a fuck ton of triggers. That's alright. Do we just lose? Do we lose? Are we just shitty? Are we just awful? Are we awful at Magic? We're awful at Magic. Let's see. Let's do the math. And I think we're dead. That is a lot of things there. I'm assuming we're dead. We are dead as fuck. We are so dead it's not even funny. Alright, let's play another game. One more with that shitty deck that we're playing. I just want to get one win. I don't even want to win like a round. I just want to win just a game. Just one game is enough for me. No, we got no land here. Yeah, we got a land here, so that's good enough. Go ahead, mulligan, man. Shit, he didn't mulligan. He didn't fucking mulligan. Fabricate. Yeah, let's put that on top of my library. It's basically a Belcher, so that's fine with me. And we'll get a green off that. Seems great. Seems perfect. Seems fucking good. We're not trying to win here. I want to make this clear. It's not like I'm trying to win this fucking game. I'm just trying to make him feel awful about himself. Eat a safe right quest. Again, let's find ourselves some green. I don't know what the fuck happened there. I should have had, my turn to play, but that didn't fucking happen. Probably because I'm drinking. Let's play him again. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Why the fuck not? Seems great. Let's do it. Who the fuck is Dr. T-Rex, and why do you have such a great name, man? Search for tomorrow. Alright, so he's playing like a... let's see here. I hope he doesn't play fucking the thing he played last turn. That would be fucking awful for me. Just not gonna play. I'm just gonna concede at that point. Just gonna be like, yeah, you did it, man. Okay, duress. You're in there. Duress me. There goes my rampant growth. It's gone. I have no growth. It's 100% gone. By Flingdom. That's his name. Flingdom. So if he's smart, he takes out the rampant growth. I guess he's a smart player after all. Sorry. Okay, Bajuka Bog. My graveyard is gone. See you later, graveyard. I liked having you, but it's okay. I understand you have to go. Elixir of Immortality. Just gains me some life. That's all it does. You did it, man. You've got the lands. You've got the lands. Although, really, honestly, if he just, like, fucking death clouds me for 1, I'm pretty much dead. This is a pretty awful. Yeah, I can see the game. I'm done here. I'm done here. I'm not playing you. I'm not playing you. I'm not playing you. I want to play a game where I win, and I win awesomely. I've been playing games where I've actually been thinking all day long, and I don't want to play that anymore. I just want to play a game where I win, like, in a terrible, terrible fashion, but I make someone hate themselves when I do it. I should probably 8-rack, really, as if I'm going to do that. Alright, this is the last shot. The mulligan. Just mulligan. Alright, keep. Yeah, you can put that on top. I don't care. Yeah, again, our goal is just to win fantastically and then call it a day. That's it. That's just all I want to end my day on, is just winning with this stupidness. That is this stupidness. Guys, if you ever want to play 7 land Belcher, don't. It's a terrible deck. It's awful. But it's amazing at the same time. It's one of the best things that you possibly can do. Alright, so we have mana. How are we gonna do this? Let's do this. And then follow it up with this. Yeah, look at that. Look at that, how much mana we're getting. We're just cheating the fucking Magic the Gathering system right here. Being total dickheads. And yeah, let's get green off of it. Now let's float some more green. Let's go for Vine Creeper. Grab herself, what, a blue? Because why not? Yep, you're there. Go ahead. Go ahead. Let me get my mana. Grabbing herself a blue. We'll play this. Grab herself a green. And that's probably going to be it. That's as best as we can do, and we're now going to lose the game terribly. But at least we did something impressive during turn 1 after mulliganing like twice. Cycles a Street Wrath. Alright, fine. Fair enough. You're cycling the crap out of that thing, man. We're probably against Living End, which does absolutely nothing to this deck. Which means we maybe have a chance to win the game after all. Who knows? We've got 3 mana next turn. He dismembered my Vine Creeper. He dismembered it? He doesn't know what he's playing against. If he dismembered that useless card, which is like a honest-to-God useless card, then he doesn't know what he's doing. Oh, he must be playing like the Suicide Zoo that's not that great. Sure, you can play that, man. I don't mind. Let's go for it. Go play that terrible deck. Dude, I wish I could play 2 Explorers. I do. I was 2 Explorer. 2 Explorer. Win the game now. The funny thing is I could probably grab a angel of fuck, what is it called? The angel that never lets you die. Platinum Angel, that one. And probably win the game off of that, but I don't need to. Him attacking for 5 damage is not going to kill me by any stretch of the imagination. 5 damage. It's a 2-turn clock, I guess. Kiln Fiend. Yeah, that's my girlfriend's favorite card, Kiln Fiend. But it's not going to kill me. Not this time around. So let's go for the win. Here you go. Goblin Charbelcher. Are you going to counterspell that? Are you fucking shitting me? No way! Oh, God, I just want to win in a terrible, terrible fashion. Don't just fucking ruin it for me like that, you asshole. A fucking dickbag. You're a dickbag. You're a dickbag for winning a game of skill. Yeah, I'm not gonna sideboard anything. Go for it. Go for it. Look, at the end of the day, if anyone's ever learned anything from me playing this terrible, terrible deck on stream, it's that you shouldn't play it. You just should not play a deck that's awful, ever. And, you know, that's lessons learned right there. I think it's important lessons learned. Oh, I probably should have sided in, not Stony Silence. I probably should have sided in, like, Nature's Claim against that Stony Silence he was going to bring in, probably. But I didn't. And, well, let's see if we die now to it. How much of my beer is left? Like, very little of my beer is left. Which means I'm doing everything perfectly right. So this is a chance again, while we're waiting, to plug my Magic the Gathering lore channel, which is this channel. I just play Zoo on it sometimes now. I am very good at Zoo, so if you guys want to watch the recap of this and see what my suggestions of what the best Zoo aggro deck currently is, you totally can. It's a very long video. Go ahead and skip through it if you want. But if you want to hear some Magic the Gathering lore, definitely subscribe, so that way you can keep up with it. We have no mana here, therefore we mulligan. We have no mana, therefore we mulligan. Dude, if I got a mulligan again, I'm just going to play another game and call it a day. Yep. That's it. This is stupid. There you go, you won the game. Congratulations. You did it. Alright, one last chance to actually just win fantastically with a terrible, terrible, terrible deck. And if we don't do it, then there's a lesson learned. Alright, we have mana. Seems like we're at a good start. Not mulliganing is probably a good option. We lost the die roll. That's probably fine. Our deck's not going to win anyways. I got tired of winning with the real deck, so I decided to play a bad deck and see if I can win. Some of the best matchups for this deck is, like, blue decks, because they, like, counterspells. Like, do something against this, but you probably don't have enough counterspells that the long game you can win. I don't know. We'll see. I'm very likely just going to lose right here. Let's cast the Elf. Then I can untap things. I can probably play 2 Explore for Tomorrows. If he doesn't bolt it. He is playing blue-black, which means he's probably playing red. Although he could be playing white, in which case he's going for like that infinite life game combo with the Thopter swords, which is perfectly fine, because meh. He puts a card on the bottom. Does he put another card on the bottom? Does that mean all of his options were bad? Yeah. Sword on the bottom? Another more on the bottom? He's thinking about that card. He's like, oh man, this card might be good. He put it on the top. All right. That means I can, in fact, untap my land here. Float some mana. May I float my mana now? Thank you. We'll do an ether. I'll do a safe right quest. Grab ourselves a forest. Play said forest. Float some more mana. And suspend these two motherfuckers. And call it a day. That seems good to me. I'm okay with doing like my turn 4, 7 mana. Look, man, there's nothing in my hand that you can really strip out. I wish there was something in my hand that you could strip out, but there's nothing right now. That's for damn sure. That's for damn sure. I am playing a bad deck, therefore, if I don't have the win in my hand, whatever you pull out of my hand is not going to matter at the end of the day. Can you believe that Inquisition of Kozilek is like a fucking $12 card right now? It's an ungoddamn common. Dude, I should have grabbed as much of those as humanly possible. Back when I was still, playing like tons of standard Magic. I had like 12 at one point. God, I could be rich right now. By 12, I don't know. It's like $200, right? That's not that rich. Whoa, Charbelcher. Hey there. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. I like you. You make me win the game. Let's see if we can just randomly do it. Let's go for an island. Yeah. Yeah, this is it. This is all coming together. It's all coming together. Grab a forest. And attack for 1 damage. So much damage. All the goddamn damage. Dude, I will cover you in pickle juice and call you my slave at any point in time if you need it to. Thanks, Sean, for helping me out with the math. I know that was your major in college. Mine, not so much. It was just how people talked, Alright, we just gotta play around counterspells at this point. We've got the win. We just need to play around the counterspells. Theoretically, I don't know. We might have enough to just beat Mana Leak, right? And if he remans, that's fine too. Because then we just cast it next turn. Maybe he counters one of those right now. I don't know. If he has absolutely no way to interact with me whatsoever and he's just putting up a tough front, I just win the game. I will finally have done it. I will have done it. Let's see. What do we got? What do we got, man? You're letting me cast my forest. Okay. What about now? What about now? Can I cast this? Can I put this forest into play? Can I put this into play? Oh, man. Oh, man. I don't lose to Mana Leak now. This is the real deal, guys. It's the real fucking deal. You can stream creep as much as you want. It's Belcher.
Oh, wait, you? No, not you.
I'm playing Belcher right now, yeah. Just fucking around playing Belcher. Alright, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's see if he's got it. Got a counterspell? Oh, you don't. You are dead as fuck, my friend.
Do it, Andrew.
We did it. We did
Do
it.
it.
We did it. Oh, negative 24. Oh.
Well done, my friend.
There you go. There you go. You've been belched all over, my friend. And that's it. That's the end of it. I'm just going to go ahead and end the stream right here. I have absolutely no reason to play game 2. This is perfectly all I wanted to do. Thank you guys for coming out. If you want to watch more Magic the Gathering lore videos or me playing terrible decks like this or a zoo, let me know. And go ahead and subscribe if you want updates to when the new videos are coming out. Thank you guys so much.
Yay!
Oh, baby.
Bye, stream.
See you later. Bye-bye.